What could you possibly do better with your Friday afternoon than this? A matinee high school football epic between a pair of programs with state championship hopes. It's a top 10 clash between the Allen Eagles and the Prosper Eagles. The biggest game across the state this week on an afternoon edition of Friday Night Football, sponsored by Texas de Brazil. And with that, we welcome you inside the broadcast booth here at the beautiful Children's Health Stadium in Prosper. Mike Leslie alongside the former Lincoln High and Kansas State linebacker, Heckma Harrison. Heckma, this is certainly the game of the week across the state of Texas, arguably the game of the week nationwide. It is a monster, the best Allen-Prosper game there has ever been.
And no doubt about it, Mike, this is the biggest game not only in the state of Texas, in the nation. And both of these teams undefeated and on a collision course, not just for the district, but these standings are for nationwide standings and state standings. But these are two teams that are going to go deep into the playoffs.
Let's give you a look at the top 10 in the 6A state rankings. Allen number 2 in the state, Prosper number 7. Prosper, Heckma, has arguably the best win on their resume of any team across the state, knocking off Austin Westlake, who you see there at 8th in the state rankings in the opener, 29-22. That was the win that put everybody around the state on notice about how good this Prosper team can be this year. Meanwhile, for Allen, they have just annihilated everyone that has been in their path so far this season, and they are capital B-A-C-K, whatever letter I'm looking for, capital B-A-C-K back. This team is loaded for bear, unlike, frankly, any Allen program, any Allen team has been since arguably the 2017 title team.
Look, I'm going to start with Prosper because that win over Westlake, I think really, like you said, put everyone on notice. But I think in a game like this, that makes your eyebrow go up because you feel like one of these teams is more battle-tested than the other.
Yeah.
So in that game versus Westlake, again, 500 yards total for Prosper, and that's what going against a Westlake team that I believe everyone knows they're all about their defense. On the other side for Allen, talking about defense, these guys are unbelievable.
Yeah.
And man, this opportunity, I am stoked. What else you want to talk about, Mike? I mean, let's go. This is incredible, man.
It really is.
This is incredible.
It really, really is. Let's look at the district standings real quick because this is the District 6-6A championship game. Both teams 5-0 on the year in district play. Nobody else has got a chance to chase either one of these two teams down. Whoever wins today takes the district championship. It was that way a year ago. Allen won the game 22-7 and went 8-0 in district. Winner today is going to take the district championship. You mentioned it. This is a game that is strength on strength. It is the offensive line for the Prosper Eagles against the defensive front for the Allen Eagles. Allen giving up just 6.9 points per game this season. And their player to watch today is a young man that leads that defense, Japri Wafer, their stud linebacker, on his way to UTEP. This kid is a special talent.
You know me, I have a soft spot in my heart for linebacker.
Yeah,
play.
buddy.
And this kid, Japri Wafer, number 8, he does it. I mean, they talk about getting downhill in a hurry, filling holes. That is Japri Wafer. UTEP has themselves an absolute stud at linebacker. He is the leader of that group. And just look, again, as far as a kid that has all the speed, sideline to sideline, that's what applies to Japri Wafer.
Meanwhile, for Prosper, we mentioned their big offensive line. We could have picked any one of their guys up front, frankly, as the player to watch, but Bryce Gilmore, the one who probably has the largest share of recruiting of these guys, 4-star prospect, the number 10 offensive tackle in the country in the senior class.
Mike, this kid is a stud. I mean, look at how big this kid is, a unit. Number 78, he's 6'5", 300 pounds. And when you're that big and you got your jersey pulled all up in the halter top style, hey, man, that's just swag right there for all the big fellas. I love the way that Bryce Gilmore, as a player, and how he carries himself on the field and in the locker room.
Really, really impressive athlete. Gets up and down the field despite all of that size. 6'5", 297 on his way to Texas Tech, part of another massive recruiting class for the Red Raiders. This is a 1 p.m. kickoff today, moved up because of the thunderstorms that are making their way in later today, hopefully much later today, and we're able to get the entirety of this game in without incident in that regard. but both schools have let kids out of school early. Parents, students, this place is set to be packed as we see the coin toss happening right now down there at midfield. The near side, home side, already is sold out, was hours ago as we were rolling in to get stuff set up 3 hours ago, and the Allen side was close at that point, likely has been sold out in the intervening hours. This place is going to be rocking, even though it's a 1 p.m. start.
No one in this community was going to miss this game, and the reason why, these schools have told everyone, you got an excused absence from us today, and I'm telling you, this is going to be a rocking atmosphere. When we got here, there was already a line outside, and so there's a line already with just minutes till kickoff trying to get in here.
These two teams have ping-ponged back and forth the last couple of years. Allen won the first 3 meetings, then Prosper won 3 straight meetings. Now Allen won a year ago. As you hear the announcement from our crew chief today, Andre Liss, Allen will receive the opening kickoff, so we will see that Eagles offense on the field first. Both of these teams have had their fair share of this rivalry, but Allen leads the series 4-3. We'll see if they can maintain that lead today.
And we often expect for Allen to be at the top in this district.
Yeah.
You ask the question, is Allen back? And they answer, we've never left.
That's exactly right.
So, I think for Prosper, they understand that dynamic and they're trying to exact their dominance over this today.
Call it a weekend early. Dip out on work, come hang out with us all afternoon. Allen and Prosper, head-to-head, number 2 and number 7 in the state. The game of the week in the state of Texas on Friday Night Football at 1 in the afternoon. Next.
Thanks, Delkus.
Thanks, Delkus.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
WFAA has a legacy of changing the system.
Most recently, we did a story on ankle monitors and how they don't work, and how criminals are committing crimes with ankle monitors. And yeah, there's legislative change coming.
Our 2-year investigation caught the attention of state representatives. Now, it's a crime to cut off ankle monitors.
I want people to see things that we need to hold people accountable for.
End zone shot. What a catch! Catch a live broadcast of every play of the biggest high school football games. Next week, DeSoto at Duncanville. Stream the broadcast free next Friday night at 7 on WFAA+.
Friday Night Football, sponsored by Texas de Brazil.
From Children's Health Stadium in Prosper, Texas, Friday Night Football is on the air 6 hours earlier than we're used to as Allen and Prosper dodge the thunderstorms and get ready to kick off the game of the week in the state of Texas. Heckma Harrison, Allen has the football first. We get to see this thing turn up in a matter of moments.
Let's get it on. That's all I got to say is let's get it on. It's highly anticipated. You come into today with 2 undefeated teams. I know it's cliche to say that someone's O must go, but boy, it's going to be a big old O that has to go today. District title on the line here today. But again, as I said in the open, both of these teams are expected to go far in the Texas high school football playoffs.
Each of these teams made it to at least the regional semis a year ago. I beg your pardon. Prosper lost in the bi-district round against Coppell, a very good Coppell team that eventually played North Crowley to one of their closest games of the postseason. Allen made it to the regional final, lost to North Crowley 35-7 in the regional final. These two teams, North Crowley, kind of the power nexus in 6A Division I, Region 1, and we may see those 3 teams duke it out somewhere along the way in the playoffs as well.
Bukowskis will tee it up at the 40-yard line and prepare for the kickoff.
The Sporting News has both these teams in the national top 25. Allen at number 12, Prosper at number 25, head-to-head in the biggest high school game in the country this week. And we're underway in Prosper. Kickoff through the end zone from Michael Bukauskas. Their superstar kicker has a massive leg, as you just saw. Gets us started in style, and Allen will come out to their own 25 after the touchback. Jeremiah Dowd, the starting quarterback. The senior, a Florida Atlantic commit. 18 touchdown passes on the year, only 2 interceptions. Heck, but we will see him toggle with Ty Snell, the superstar freshman, throughout the afternoon as well. But Jeremiah Dowd leads the charge, 74% completion this year.
Hey, you're going to say night a few more times, Mike, before you get it right, because that's what we're used to. But you're right, man. Dowd, he does bring the precision from the quarterback position. But this kid's Ty Snell, just a freshman. Something different about him.
1st and 10 from the 25. Dowd on play action, flips it. Incomplete, looking for Caleb Smith. Little disjointed, and Prosper's defense read that well as well. The Allen Eagles, perhaps the single most well-known program in Texas high school football on the strength of their 5 state championships, their national championships, up to number 2 in the state, and of course Kyler Murray's influence as well in the notoriety of this program. Back as they've ever been to being a legitimate statewide power. Lots of pre-snap motion here from Allen offensive coordinator Larry McCray before 2nd down and 10. Setting up the screen for Lyndon Spriggs and following the tunnel for a pickup of 7.
And that's how they use Springs out on the outside. They love to use him in space. A super athlete and one of those guys that typically always makes the first guy miss.
Quickly 3rd down and 3. And the crowd here at Children's Health Stadium, 12,000 seat capacity, one of the most beautiful palaces for high school football in the state. Starting to bring the noise already at 1:03 in the afternoon. Little pop pass to Caleb Smith, cannot get the corner. Strung out very well on the far side. Devin Allen with the tackle for loss, 4th down, and Allen has to punt.
This kid, number 96, Devin Allen, you see him right here. Look at the push that he is getting up the field. This Eagles, well, I'd say Prosper, this Prosper's defensive line getting pushed. And Devin Allen, well, I got an opportunity to talk about this young man. He had an interception at the defensive line position, taken back to the house.
Ethan Nava to punt it away. No pressure from Prosper. And the punt sends Marcus McCoy to the far sideline. The Prosper defense authors a 3-and-out to start this football game, which means we now see Braden Imhoff, the starting quarterback for the Prosper Eagles, wearing number 9, the 6-foot senior. Just shy of 2,000 passing yards on the season in his 7 games, 18 touchdowns, just 3 interceptions. Heckma on his way to Lamar.
Yeah, he really has a solid arm, very accurate passer. He really does distribute that football and allows his talented guys on the outside to do what they do. It's going to be up to this offensive line. In the trenches is where this game is going to be won.
1st and 10 at the 43. Good starting field position here for Imhoff as he hands to Bryce Robinson, the senior running back. Pushes his way forward for about 2.5. Heckma, last year in this game, the storyline coming in was the offensive line for the Prosper Eagles. Last year, all 5 of their starters on the offensive line were future Division I players. This year, 4 of the 5 future Division I players. And yet, Allen won the battle in the trenches a year ago. That is going to be what dictates this football game today.
And I'm telling you, they were really upset about that, Mike, because they feel like being out-physicaled by a smaller team just didn't fit well into their psyche. They're looking forward to this matchup.
They create a gash there for Bryce Robinson, who stumbles his way into Allen territory with a 1st down to the 46-yard line.
I love this kid, Bryce Robinson, but he, amongst all of these Prosper Eagles, needs to have a big game here today. This kid is a combination of speed and power. Love him in between the tackles, but he can also get it on the outside as well.
1st and 10 at the 46 for Braden Imhoff. Handoff for Robinson again. Made a man miss in the backfield, but can't get away from the second tackler. A loss of a yard on the play. The Prosper Eagles 7-0 on the year. The first time this program has ever started 7-0. In fact, 6-0 was a first for this program as well a couple weeks ago. I asked Tyler Moore before the game, is this the best team you guys have ever had? There was no hesitation. He said, absolutely.
And I tell you, man, I had to do a double take when he said that because they've had some really good teams around here, but he didn't blink.
Imhoff to the air on 2nd and 12. Nice grab by Elliott Brown, the junior tight end. That'll move the chains, and Prosper's inside the 30.
But great setup to Brown, and look at Imhoff going through the progression there, and he's finding his tight end man-to-man on Japri Wafer. I think they want to try and get Wafer out in space to test him, see how good he is in coverage.
1st and 10 at the 29. Prosper got a 3 and out from their defense on the first series, and now moving the ball here is Robinson banged down at the 24-yard line. Good hit from Japri Wafer, the UTEP commit, but Robinson picks up 5, and it's 2nd and 5.
Yeah, again, this is Bryce Robinson. He is used to running through gaping holes because of this offensive line. I mean, these guys pretty much mow you down, and by the time you get to the fourth quarter, you're tired.
Dub salute to our man J-Mac in the YouTube comments, the DFW High School Football Podcast. Appreciate you guys being with us today. Over 1,000 of you already tuning in on the WFA YouTube channel. Please share this feed around. This one's going to be worth watching. Robinson up the middle, close to first down yardage. Near side headlinesman says, yes, that is a first down. Cody Clower. First and 10 at the 19-yard line. Crisp opening drive here from the Prosper Eagles. They look sharp, Heckma.
Yes, they do. I mean, in offensive line, again, getting to the second level, allowing Robinson to do what he does. You see it right here.
Hopping over bodies in the interior and close to another first down, a pickup of 9.
I love these black unis for Prosper.
Yeah, they're sharp.
I'm telling you, it looks like they're playing with an extra man out there, and you see the way that they just wall these guys off for a 9-yard gain, and Bryce Robinson is feeling it right now in these first couple of minutes of this game.
Second and 1, they lost the football on the deck. I think Prosper may have gotten back on top of it. Bryce Robinson saving everything for the Eagles. He and Braden Imhoff with a quick high five, getting back on the same page.
Well, you have the motion in there, the ball, I think, from Braden Imhoff. It just goes off of the face mask of Bryce Robinson. Boy, disaster avoided for Prosper.
They do lose a couple yards on the play. It's 3rd down and 3, but they keep the football. They need the 9-yard line for a first down. Imhoff up the seam, overshot his intended target. Lathan Latchley. May have been some miscommunication on what the route was supposed to be because Latchley was wide open.
He was, and Latchley in Braden Imhoff, the miscommunication may have cost him 6 right there, but you see the matchup on Japri Wafer in coverage. Again, this is the second time we saw him with Elliott Brown and now with Lathan Latchley.
So they set up the 30-yard field goal from just inside the left hash. Michael Bukauskas, one of the best kickers in the country, puts it through with ease. And Prosper, after the 3 and out from their defense, pays it off with a nice drive. They don't get 7, but they do get the field goal from Bukauskas. And we are underway on Friday Night Football. The Prosper Eagles, number 7 in the state, striking first.
WFAA has a legacy of changing the system.
Most recently, we did a story on ankle monitors and how they don't work, and how criminals are committing crimes with ankle monitors. And yeah, there's legislative change coming.
Our 2-year investigation caught the attention of state representatives. Now, it's a crime to cut off ankle monitors.
I want people to see things that we need to hold people accountable for.
Thanks for downloading the WFAA Plus app. The main page is a live stream of WFAA programming, and you can find on-demand stories as well. Just click a tab at the top of your screen and scroll down to find WFAA original programming.
Back in Prosper, a 3-0 lead for the homestanding Prosper Eagles. There you see the Allen Eagle Escadrille. We'll bring you their show at halftime as Bukauskas sends this one high into the air and 5-6 yards deep in the end zone. Dots Mix in the YouTube comments says District 6 championship, right? Yes, indeed. This is the 6-6A title game. Both teams 5-0 on the year in district play. Both teams clear head and shoulders above the rest of the pack within this district. No team other than these two has fewer than 2 losses in the district. Yes, whoever wins today takes the district title.
And I think Coach Wigginton and Coach Moore, they look at this as a playoff game. The opposition that you get in a game like this can't do anything but prepare you for the next games that you have ahead of you.
They have been on a collision course for today all season long. Dowd with his second chance at it. Fires far side, complete to Caleb Smith. A pickup of 5 on the play. Smith, the Arizona commit, missed all of last year because of injury. One of the top wide receivers in the area.
Yes.
Having him back has been a big boon for this team.
It has been, over 500 yards so far on the season, 6 tutties. Expecting to have a big day today, but I wanted to say for that Allen Eagles defense, I think they'll take that last series as a win, only giving up a field goal.
Yes, that is a big result there after Prosper did look so sharp, moving the football down the field. Couple of nice connections by their quarterback, Braden Imhoff, but the Allen defense finally able to stand up and get the hold. And Michael Bukauskas pops through the 30-yarder, and it's 3-0 instead of 7. The carry there for Lyndon Spriggs, a pickup of 3. It's 3rd and 2. Spriggs again. Patient, surges forward, hops his way into the second level. A first down and then some for the Allen Eagles.
I love the setup of this with Spriggs. They have him in the pistol formation. And look at the blocking. Coming through number 52, Henry Hastings. Again, he is the one that is leading him through that hole, taking him to the linebackers. Great first down right there for Allen.
1st and 10 at the 43. Spriggs gets the handoff again. A big hole this time. Squirts his way through across midfield and another first down run for the senior. Beg your pardon, junior.
Again, tough running right now for Spriggs, and you're starting to see that Prosper Eagles defense being stood up and pushed back. That is not a good sign, especially in a game where you come in feeling like last year these guys bullied us up front. Both of these coaches know how this game is going to be won, and it's with those big fellas up front of the offensive line.
1st and 10 at the 45 in Prosper territory. Allen went 3 and out on the first possession. Looking a lot sharper here on possession number 2. Throw near side, and that was a dangerous throw. It does get to Caleb Smith for a completion, but mercy, Tyson Stiggers was hunting that football.
Yes, he was, and Tyson Stiggers, if he is a step faster, he's going to take that one to the house. He read it perfectly.
Stiggers, the senior, on his way to Pittsburgh State. Had been in and out of the lineup the last couple of weeks, but back starting today. Had a soft tissue injury, but they're happy to have him back out there on the football field. Dowd to the air again, tipped and not intercepted. Oh my! Kyrie Pettis almost had his hands on that one.
Woo. Allen is going to be lucky to get that one back. Dowd, as soon as it comes off his hands, again, as the saying goes, tips and overthrows, got to get those. How they missed out on that opportunity. Both defenses so far have missed out on opportunities to get the ball back for their offense.
Yeah. Michael Hall in the YouTube comments checking in, a regular viewer here on Friday Night Football. Appreciate you being here with us. He's in-house today as well. 3rd down and 7. They need the 35 to move the chains. Dowd, quick throw. Caleb Smith has a tunnel. Has the first down and then some. Inside the 35 to the 33.
Oh, man, this screen is set up so beautifully on the outside. Look at the blocking that they get. That's Jaden Davis, the freshman tight end, setting that up. But again, talk about a guy being back. Caleb Smith.
First and 10 at the 33 for the Allen Eagles. Smith, the motion man.
Okay.
Handoff for the backup running back, Jaden Hambrick. Nothing doing on the play. Well read by the Prosper defense.
A lot of eye candy on that last one. You get some motion from Caleb Smith. Hall to hand it off to Jaden Hambrick, and they do have 2 very qualified running backs for the Allen Eagles.
Second down and 10 as a result. Spriggs up the middle, pushing through his own blockers and picking up a couple.
Tell you, man, it's Spriggs. Just seems like every time he's touching the ball, he's picking up 5, 6 at a time. Got to give credit to this offensive line. I know we're going to talk a lot about the offensive line for Prosper, but these guys over here for Allen, they need a little bit of love. Talib and Masters, 50 and 74, doing a great job in that A-gap.
Jay Talib, the Texas Tech recruit, has an offer from the Red Raiders, among others. Jacob McCray on his way to Colorado State, their starting right tackle. Ethan Villarreal going to Marist next year. 3rd down and 5. Dowd dancing around, takes off and runs with it. Does not have enough for the first down. He's going to be about a yard shy. It'll be 4th and 1.
Well, nothing to think about here.
They need a full yard, maybe 2, in fact, looking at where the sticks are on the far sideline. They need to get almost to the 23-yard line. This is 4th and about a yard and a half. They bring in Hambrick, the bigger, bruising running back, and a big set as Noah Tinsley came on. Hambrick with the carry, pushes forward, has enough for the first down.
Boy, and that lean, though, that was what got him to the half-yard line. You see right here, looks like the Prosper defense has stood him up, but boy, good job by Jaden Hambrick picking up that first down. Gutsy call, but I think you're in a situation where you got to go for it and allow this offense to stay on the field.
1st and 10 at the 23-yard line. Allen with just enough to move the chains, courtesy of Hambrick, the senior. Dowd to the air. Tricky spot to try and throw that football.
Man, looked like that was triple coverage right there, Mike. Trying to fit that one into a keyhole is Dowd. Again, lucky to get that one back. We hadn't seen him take any deep shots yet, though. Everything's pretty much shortened to the outside.
That's the second, at least, if not 3rd time that he's tried to go that direction and thrown into traffic. Now he'll roll near side. The lefty scanning, going to take off and run for it. Hog tying him right around the line of scrimmage. Cade Smallwood makes the tackle, and it's going to be 3rd down and 9.
Good job by this Prosper defense. And that was just coverage on the backside. Dowd is keeping his eyes up the field. You see the lefty, just no one open. Great coverage. If you want to call that a coverage sack, then that's what that was.
That is the end of 1. A quick first quarter here in Prosper. The Eagles with a 3-0 lead on their home field, but Allen driving when we return.
Right now in Terrell and in Dallas, your heat index is 107. Everyone in McKinney is dead. It's hot in McKinney. We'll fix that probably.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
Hey, I'm Jason. And I'm the other Jason. We're the co-hosts of Y'all-itics, the unofficial political podcast of Texas.
So each week we invite on change makers for cold beer and candid conversations into the issues really affecting Texans.
Yeah, and we're bringing in diverse viewpoints so you get to listen and really understand.
This is solid information and a deep dive you're not going to get anywhere else.
Not to brag,
but just to brag a little bit.
Okay, a little. We've been trending and making headlines.
Plus, we have more than 1 million downloads.
And still counting.
Friday Night Football, sponsored by Texas Day Brazil. Indulge in unlimited flavors. Why settle for just one dish? At Texas Day Brazil, every dining experience is an unlimited exploration of bold, fresh, and authentic flavors. 3-0 Prosper after 1 here at Children's Health Stadium. But it will be 3rd and 9, Heckma, for the Allen Eagles out of this quarter break. They need the 13-yard line to move the chains. They've been moving bodies on this drive.
Yes, they have, and that was probably the fastest first quarter I've ever had an opportunity to be a part of.
Yeah.
This thing is flying. I'm like, we just got here. What do you mean? It's already the second quarter, but yeah, they are moving bodies for sure.
It is 1:22 in the afternoon. Kickoff was 19 minutes ago. Lightning fast. 3rd and 9, down to the air. He hits his man, Caleb Smith, and he'll have a first down.
What a route right here from Caleb Smith, but also you got the left-handed quarterback recognizing, waiting on 3 to come open at the last minute. Great patience, awareness. These are two guys that have been working together a lot. It's just timing and preparation on that one.
1st and 10 at the 12-yard line. We saw Allen's defense was able to stand up and make a stop and hold Prosper to a field goal. Can the Prosper defense respond in kind? Down, near side, complete. Spriggs run out of bounds at the 4.
What an embarrassment of riches to have these great wide receivers and then also a running back, a guy that can line up in your backfield but also line up on the outside at receiver.
Batman in the house here
right
as we approach Halloween in the Prosper student section.
Yeah, they were here early.
Both schools letting kids out early to come take part in this one. 2nd down inside the 5-yard line. Spriggs to the end zone. Touchdown, Allen.
Can't wait to see the replay on this one because the offensive line for the Allen Eagles, here you see it. Boy, what a seal block on the outside to allow Landon Spriggs to run right through. That's just taking the fight to the other guys. And number 74, the right guard, James Masters, on the pull.
Extra point up and through. It's Lyndon Spriggs with a 5-yard touchdown run, and Allen finds the end zone first. They lead it 7-3 early second quarter on an afternoon edition of Friday Night Football.
Get internet speeds up to 1 gig with 99.
Thanks, Delkus.
Thanks, Delkus.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
Game of the week statewide. Allen and Prosper, a 7-3 Allen Eagles lead after the Lyndon Spriggs touchdown run, his 7th touchdown of the season. And Allen has the lead. Preston Hurlis to kick it away.
Wow, what a drive right there by Allen. You were talking about how big it was for Prosper. for Allen to get that stop, and Prosper was hoping to duplicate that effort. But a great job by that Allen Eagles offense. And to me, Mike, it was that fourth down for Hambrick picking up on that 4th and 2.
Yes.
That really continued that drive at the end of the first quarter. Great decision early, but man, it pays off with points.
Preston Hurlis' kick into the end zone for a touchback, so Prosper will start at the 25. Yes, huge conversion, and just narrowly did Jaden Hambrick get that first down on 4th and a yard and a half or two to that 23-yard line to keep that drive alive, and Allen pays it off with the touchdown run from Spriggs. 7-3, Allen with the lead. Braden Imhoff and the Prosper offense back to work. Travis Wilson, their OC, dialing things up as they look to find an answer. Imhoff up the seam, into traffic, knocked away. Trey Roberson wanted the interception there and nearly had it.
Oh, Trey Roberson is already running with the football in his mind, but he has to get the wide receiver. He has to take the ball away, and it was a bang-bang kind of situation. Dallas Boozer there as well. Man, another missed opportunity for this Allen Eagles defense.
McMurray, Indian 93, says, watching from Temple, but don't tell my boss. Love it. Whoa, 1:25 in the afternoon, high school football. 2nd and 10 over the middle. On target, and Lathan Latchley's breaking away. Lathan Latchley, 75 yards for the touchdown. A lightning strike here for Prosper.
Boy, they said they had lightning in the forecast, and Lathan Latchley says, hold my Gatorade, watch this. And he takes off. Trey Robertson, is late, and Lathan Latchley right down the hash mark. And look at this, he grabs his hamstring. I'm about to say, oh no, but no, that's a part of the celebration.
Latchley fooling everybody. 10-7 Prosper. 17 seconds after Lyndon Spriggs scored to give Allen the lead, Prosper's got it right back. What an answer. The Tulsa commit with his 11th touchdown reception of the year. The extra point from Bukauskas. 10-7 Prosper. Heckma, that is the dream answer for Tyler Moore and his team.
Yeah, I mean, and you did it. You did it quickly. And Allen, they had that methodical drive, and I think you see the firepower there from Prosper. Man, Lathan Latchley again, that's an easy route, catch and throw for quarterback and wide receiver. Man, way to respond for the Prosper Eagles.
Bluesman 970 in the YouTube comment says, ooh, he hit that. J-Mac says, caught him trying to get greedy. Texas BBQ 555 says, that boy quick. Juicy Trailers here says, number 1 is fast. Yeah, impressive stuff from Lathan Latchley.
And the celebration you show it right there. He grabs his hand. These kids today, man, I'll tell you what. Wow.
Nature Trails 8357 says they're watching from Oklahoma today. Solomon Mays says that Latchley's been one of the best wide receivers in DFW, if not the state this season. Solomon, we appreciate you watching. Really good high school coverage from that young man, doing really good scouting reports for a lot of the biggest games around the area week after week. Appreciate you tuning in.
Yeah, a little bit more on Latchley. He came into this game with 10 touchdowns, 826 yards on the season. Obviously, he just upped that with that last scamper. But my goodness, man, a young man that is having himself quite a season. Like you said, the Tulsa commit, boy, they have a really good player headed to Oklahoma.
With that one reception, up over 900 yards now receiving on the year. Appreciate y'all being with us here on the WFAA YouTube channel and WFAA Plus. Download that WFAA Plus app to your television for free, and you can beam this thing to your big screen. Or if you're joining us on the YouTube feed, let us know in the YouTube comments where you're watching from today, who you're rooting for today. If you got a favorite team, you got a favorite player on one of these two teams. If you're here to see the Friday Night Football halftime show sponsored by the Children's Health Andrews Institute, if you got a kid in one of these two bands, two terrific bands, we'll show you the entirety of their halftime shows here in 10 minutes and 57 seconds worth of game time. Let us know who you're tuning in to see today. 1st and 10 for Allen at their own 19-yard line. Worst starting field position so far today for the Allen offense as Dowd flips it far side for Caleb Smith. Nice job to find the crease between the two blocks, and he's got the first down.
Boy, you mentioned it. But look at this job that Caleb Smith does, splitting the defenders, waiting on his blocks to set up. You see the speed right away, but boy, a lick thrown right there. Number 3, D.K. Jamison, the Navy commit. Make you think about it a little bit. You get hit like that.
You're not kidding. D.K. Jamison with a club on one of his hands got hurt earlier on this season, but still playing hard out there at that rover position. He brought the lumber on that one.
Yes, he did.
1st and 10 for Dowd. Flush to the near side, fires downfield, has Josiah Johnson, the superstar sophomore, complete for a first down.
Just an impeccable route by the sophomore, Josiah Johnson. And again, Jeremiah Dowd, I keep having to remember that he's a lefty quarterback.
Yeah.
So different, man. I was having a conversation with the great Everson Walls about left-handed quarterbacks, and from a cornerback's perspective, how different that is to see the ball come out left-handed.
It messes with your eye. It just doesn't look quite the same. It spins the other direction. There's so many elements of it that certainly for a receiver you have to get used to catching the football that comes with a different spin. There's a lot of differences to it, but Jeremiah Dowd is one of the best that plays that position in a left-handed capacity on his way to Florida Atlantic. Nice run here by Jaden Hambrick, twisting his way for 4 on what should have been no gain.
What a move. This is supposed to be a tackle. That's supposed to be 3 tackles. Jaden Hambrick taking guys out of their spat and shoestrings.
Those of you who were with us a year ago for this game, Allen and Prosper, remember the Beastquake run that Hambrick had from deep in his own territory. Just punishing kids as Dowd fires one deep, has a man wide open. And breaking the one tackle he had to is Carter Harris. Touchdown, Allen.
Carter Harris is a part of this 3-headed monsters that they have at wide receiver. You can't get any more open than Carter Harris is. He comes into this game with 472 on the year and 5 touchdowns. 6 now. And he just walks into the end zone.
Absolutely wide open. A breakdown in coverage there for the Prosper Eagles defense. And Allen answers right back. The first quarter went lightning fast. The second quarter is slowed down in a big way, but it's because of a couple of huge plays from both of these offenses. Jeremiah Dowd to Carter Harris for the touchdown, and it is 14-10 Allen on Friday Night Football.
WFAA has a legacy of changing the system.
Most recently, we did a story on ankle monitors and how they don't work and how criminals are committing crimes with ankle monitors. And yeah, there's legislative change coming.
Our 2-year investigation caught the attention of state representatives. Now, it's a crime to cut off ankle monitors.
I want people to see things that we need to hold people accountable for.
Just about 2,000 of you with us right now on the WFAA YouTube channel. Please click the like button, click the share button. Send this feed around to your friends in the Prosper and Allen communities, the Texas high school football community at large. Really nobody else in the state playing right now, so if you know a Texas high school football player that might want to tune in, let him know, because this one is off to a very fun start. Lachele is going to bring this out from 3 yards deep in his end zone, and he's got something working up the near sideline. Lachele just barely tripped up by LeBron Bauer, or he may have been end zone bound.
Boy, what a move on the outside, man. And he takes this, I'm thinking he's going to down it. He saw the blocking set up, and without LeBron Bauer, man, Lachele may be on his way to the house right here. It's a touchdown save and tackle.
Just narrowly got him to the sideline, really, because he was able to keep his feet, but a step on the sideline at the 35-yard line. It appears they're going to spot it. They still haven't put the football down, but somewhere in that vicinity is where Prosper will take over. And yes, indeed, nose of the football on the 35 for Braden Nimhoff and the Prosper Eagles offense.
I mentioned it to you before about Allen on offense. They took a shot down the field. Well, we got our first shot down the field, and he was wide open. Let's see the response now from Prosper.
Last time they had the football, they only had it for 17 seconds because Imhoff hit Lathan Latchley on that 75-yard touchdown pass on the slant over the middle. Latchley showing off the speed. What will they do with it here? Imhoff over the middle again, this time on target for Dallas Boozer, and that's enough for a first down.
What a great combo on the outside. Boy, you get a stop route and an in.
Gibson makes the tackle for Allen. That play results in a Prosper Eagle.
Yeah, Josiah Gibson on the tackle.
1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Boozer coming back off of injury, played last week, but he's been banged up a lot of the year as Robinson struggles his way forward for, give him 3 on the play, just across the midfield stripe.
Yeah, I like what Dallas Boozer is a guy, like you said, he has been out of the lineup. Finally get him back healthy. That's the Arkansas State commit. Well, they felt like he's only played about 6 quarters so far this season.
2nd and 7 at the 49. Whistles here prior to the snap. Play clock did not stop. Now it is reset back to 40. And they'll wind the clock as they hand it off here again for Robinson up the middle. Ran into the back of his own blockers. They just couldn't create a whole lot of push there. Only a gain of about a yard or so.
And then that's Japri Wafer from his linebacker position. Just coming up and causing a pile.
And now a big 3rd down here for the Prosper Eagles offense. They need the 42 to move the chains. Imhoff. In and out of the hands of Boozer. It was a high throw. Boozer couldn't squeeze it. He probably would have been able to turn and get the first down if he could have caught it. Imhoff just a little off target.
Yeah, he was. And boy, he's going to wish he had that one back. Sets up perfectly, but again, just a little high. And this is a no-brainer, I believe, from Coach Moore.
They will play field position. And Michael Bukauskas, the terrific kicker, also their punter, the senior, one of the best legs in the state of Texas, will look to pin them deep. Caleb Smith deep for Allen. End over end punt. Way out of bounds. That's probably one of the punts that Michael Bukauskas would want back this season. Where will they spot this football? All the way out at the 31-yard line.
We went down on the field. You could feel it was windy down there. Obviously, the anticipation of thunderstorms later this evening.
Right now, we've been able to stay dry, and hopefully that will persist. They spot that football at the 31.
Yeah.
That is only a 17-yard punt. From, again, truly, Michael Bukauskas is terrific. One of the best kickers in the state and also a very good punter.
It's just being fair. He's kicking it to Caleb Smith. And,
trying to keep it away from Caleb Smith, trying to pin them deep and just mishit it. First and 10 for Allen. Dowd. Far side for Josiah Johnson. Well defended by Tyson Stiggers on the outside. Yeah, Michael Bukauskas, 3-star kicker on his way to Texas. And in fact, going to punt, not to kick field goals. Terrific, terrific leg, and just mishit that one. About 2,100 of you with us right now on the WFAA YouTube channel. Again, please click that share button. Send this feed around. We've got a really good football game just getting rolling. No gain on that first down throw to Johnson, who is one of the premier sophomore wide receivers in the state. Dowd, QB keeper on the design draw, broke a tackle in the backfield, and now he's got blockers to the outside. Dowd's got the first down for Allen.
Love the play design on that one as well. You get Jaden Davis set up as the H-back. And again, he was going with this the entire way, setting up his blocks and getting to the outside, but the point of it all is getting to the sticks.
That ball just out in front of Jaden Hambrick and incomplete. Dowd put a little too much heat on that one. We have not yet seen the freshman quarterback Ty Snell. It has been Jeremiah Dowd all through this football game. Snell has played a ton this year and is a superstar in the making. Big time recruit, but only a freshman. Has played a ton this season, but in their 7 games so far this year, Heckma, they have not been challenged. They have not played anybody, frankly, that could play with them. I wondered coming into today whether or not we would see him. I'm still not certain that we won't, but at least so far it has been all Jeremiah Dowd as he flips this one to Caleb Smith. Smith's got blockers. Look at the speed from Caleb Smith. The moment he gets the football, he bursts.
Oh, he's like that. Number 3, you see him coming back across here underneath, and nobody's going to catch this young man when he has a step on him.
He did not quite get the first down. Stepped out of bounds just across the 49-yard line. Ball right between the 49 and 48 in Prosper territory. They need the 47 for a first down. It is Spriggs behind Dowd. He'll get the handoff. Picks his way forward and has more than enough to move the sticks all the way to the 42.
Boy, both of these teams mirror each other in a lot of great ways. This offensive line, look at the penetration again, getting up to the second level. See the push right there.
They just move bodies, man. They really do. Ethan Villarreal on his way to Marist. Henry Hastings, the left guard. James Masters, the right guard. They've just got talent all across that offensive line. They went on an 11-plus minute drive a year ago.
Oh, that should be a free play.
Unless they feel that it was instigated by movement on the offensive line, perhaps. Andre Liss, what do you have to say? Because of the contact from Isaiah Lawrence, they stopped the play.
Oh, and Allen, they can't be happy about that. Come on now, give us a free play. Let us, you know exactly what's going to happen on a free play. We're going to try and stretch it.
$5 yards, the gift to the Allen offense. So it's now 1st and 5 at the 37-yard line. Past the midway point here of quarter number 2 as Spriggs goes in motion. Empty set here for Dowd, chased from behind, able to get away, fires downfield and connects with Josiah Johnson for a first down.
He is being chased down, Mike, and his ability to get away from the tackler, pressure on the outside, they miss him, and that's Alfano that misses, but man, again, the lefty getting it out to Josiah Johnson. Great pickup. Another first down for the Allen Eagles.
Dowd doesn't take off and run with the football all that often, or at least hasn't prior to today. Only 8 carries on the season coming into this football game, but he has shown he does have elusiveness in the backfield. He'll swing this one to Caleb Smith. Again blocking in front. Smith with a burst to the sideline and another first down for Allen inside the 20.
All Caleb Smith needs is space and opportunity. And he cuts this one to the outside. Boy, this is, again, this young man you cannot give a glimmer of light to. A score here from Allen is going to be big, Mike.
I was just thinking, can Prosper's defense hold them to a field goal the way Allen did in the early stages of this game? 1st and 10 at the 16. Dowd, design quarterback run. Hops his way to the inside, falls over some bodies for 3 yards.
Jeremiah Dowd on the carry.
Yeah, I don't have in my notes
Number 11, Trevor Ellis.
Jeremiah Dowd, elusive quarterback. But
No.
I think that's something I may need to add going forward, because he has shown some speed and ability to get away from defenders.
Second down and 6.
Picked up 3 on that one, 2nd down and 7. They need the 6-yard line for a first down. Dowd again with the quick swing pass, this time to Lyndon Spriggs. It was read well, but he broke the tackle, and Spriggs has got the pylon. Touchdown, Allen. Lyndon Spriggs' 2nd score of the day.
When I'm watching a team and with great receivers, I watch how they block for one another. Look on the outside, number 3, and maybe have gotten away with a push in the back, but Caleb Smith sets that up perfectly for Spriggs. And right now, boy, Allen is in their bag offensively.
Dowd's 2nd touchdown pass of the day. Spriggs with a touchdown run and a touchdown reception. And Allen with a 21-10 lead. Under 5 to play. 2nd quarter on our matinee edition of Friday Night Football.
Right now in Terrell and in Dallas, your heat index is 107. Everyone in McKinney is dead. It's hot in McKinney. We'll fix that probably.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
Hey, I'm Jason. And I'm the other Jason. We're the co-hosts of Yolitics, the unofficial political podcast of Texas.
So each week we invite on changemakers for cold beer and candid conversations into the issues really affecting Texans.
Yeah, and we're bringing in diverse viewpoints so you get to listen and really understand.
This is solid information and a deep dive you're not going to get anywhere else.
Not to brag.
Just to brag a little bit.
Okay, a little. We've been trending and making headlines.
Plus, we have more than 1 million downloads.
And still counting.
(21-10), Allen with the lead, set to kick it back to the Prosper Eagles, having built a 2-score lead for the first time today. Preston Hurlis to send it deep. Latchley and Nathan Haynes deep to return. Kickoff into the end zone for a touchback. Heckma Prosper dealing with some physicality again today from this Allen Eagles offense.
It's got to feel like deja vu all over again from last year. You're always going to say certain things about the Prosper Eagles. They have a huge offensive line. They have a top-notch quarterback. They have a defense that no one can figure out in Texas high school football. Man, they've got to get a return on all of that. And this season, man, it just looks like they have the team that's destined to get it done. But right now, boy, do they have their hands full.
They need to find an answer here before halftime as the handoff goes off right guard to Hudson Bowman. First carry of the day for the junior, 42nd of the season. Picks up 5.
Pick up a 5, 2nd and 5.
Flea flicker, Imhoff, deep ball, up the seam, looking for the tight end. Oh my goodness, he caught the football. Elliott Bowman couldn't believe it himself. Then had it stripped out at the end. Was he down or not? Allen thinks they've got the football. Not listed as down. No one has said he was down, and Allen's got the football.
Well, they did say he's down. You look at it, the referee.
No, now they're saying Allen football.
Oh, they are.
They're pointing Allen football.
Wow.
Oh my goodness. Elliott Brown couldn't believe he caught this football, and then he has it ripped out at the end, and Allen recovers. Watch this again.
The flea flicker, one, fools the Allen defense, and in double coverage, what a catch. Oh, that's...
And he was definitely not down.
No, he wasn't. Didn't even see the defender.
Unbelievable and Allen takes over. What a play. Can we see that one more time, Clay Marshall, before 1st and 10 here for the Allen offense? I couldn't make out, was it Japri Wafer that ripped the football away at the end here?
I don't think it was. It's the corner coming from the other side. You see him hustling here.
Here's Wafer at the backside of the play.
I think that's Bauer.
He's at the bottom of the pile. It's hard to tell for sure, but a sensational play. And Allen takes it back. Dowd complete. Carter Harris on the receiving end for 9. A huge play in this game.
Number 17, Logan Thompson. Prosper Eagle shaking up on
Got
the
a
play.
player down on the field. What a hustle, though. I believe that was LeBron Bauer, number 13, that comes from the opposite side to make that tackle. And strip the ball away. Man, this, talk about changing the momentum in a hurry. Here it is again. And again, the pass into double coverage, and not Dallas Boozer, but Elliott Brown coming down with it. And again, he just doesn't see LeBron Bauer. And that's just high IQ, all hustle. Stripping that ball away from Elliott Brown.
Levi Golding in the YouTube comments says stole his cookies. EBK says he was down. He wasn't down, but there was an argument here from Dalen rather, saying forward progression may have been stopped as the Prosper Eagle that was down after the play walks off. That is Zach Manning, the Army commit defensive end, really important player for this Prosper Eagles defense.
You don't want to see that guy go off the field.
Limping off with the assistance of the Prosper athletic training staff. Solomon Mays saying that ball came out before his knee hit the ground. I definitely agree with that piece of it. The argument about his forward progress being stopped, I think the play happened too quick for that play to have been blown dead for that reason. I think that is properly ruled a fumble. Oof. Handoff here for Hambrick. He'll be right at the sticks.
Great job by Jeremiah Dowd. That snap back to him in a hurry. Checks up off of his, I believe his face mask or his shoulder pads.
That play resulted in Allen first down.
You see it right there, just able to get it back down into the hands of the running back.
They do give Hambrick just enough for the first down. Nice job by Dowd to remain cool under pressure in that situation with the high snap. 1st and 10 for Allen at the 33. Nowhere to go this time. Well defended in the interior by the Prosper defensive front.
21 on the carry, Jaden Hambrick.
Yeah, staying stout inside, and this is a Prosper Eagles defense that's playing without Jake Johnson, and the USC commit who hasn't played at all this season. Talk about being shorthanded in the interior, but these guys are still doing a wonderful job.
Looks like Allen may be content to let this tick down to the 2-minute warning. There's enough time on the play clock for them to do so, and they will do exactly that. And it will be 2nd down and 10 after this timeout. It will be Prosper football to start the second half. That certainly matters here in this equation. Prosper trying to get the football back one last time, see if they can put points on the board. Allen, certainly with all 3 of their timeouts, intent on making something happen. Both these teams have got kickers with big legs. Hurlis for the Allen Eagles, Bukauskas for Prosper. So anything is on the table here still in these final 2 minutes of the first half.
And they still have all of their timeouts as well. So we're far from being done here. And
They do reset the clock to 2 minutes even.
Everybody's trying to get used to the 2-minute timeout.
Everybody. Everybody. Coaches, officials, clock managers, everybody. You and me?
Yes.
Still getting accustomed to that change in the Texas high school football rule book. The Prosper Eagles, the authors of one of the most impressive wins so far this year statewide, knocking off Austin Westlake in the opener 29-22. Another really strong win over Rockwall Heath next week, a team that has been in the state rankings. They have not been as sharp as they would want to be so far today, Heckma.
No, they have a team that obviously is just attacking them in the interior. They're having a hard time dealing with these two running backs, Spriggs and Hambrick.
Jaden Davis, the motion man. Dowd, pressured. Has another man on him. Has to just throw this one away. Wisely sends that one to the sideline. And it's 3rd and 10.
Well, he does a good job of getting that out of his hands because Isaiah Lawrence, he is coming down on him in a hurry. It's a great job just getting it out of his hands.
3rd down and 10 here. $1:56 on the clock in the first half. Again, Prosper with all 3 their timeouts still in their back pocket. Good sign for Prosper. Zach Manning just ran back on the football field. That's a very good sign. 3rd and 10. Manning pivotal to their pass rush. Pinning his ears back here as Dowd fires far side. And before all of that, Prosper bangs a timeout.
Wow, maybe just didn't like the look, but boy, they call that just in time because that was another one of those passes on the outside, and we've seen those short passes like that has made that Prosper Eagles defense have to turn and run. They have been in a pursuit drill this entire first half. That's just another extension of the running game as well, boy, and again, I don't know if we were expecting for the Allen Eagles to be able to move the ball the way that they have, but man, they have done a really good job of mixing it up between the pass and the run.
YouTube comments lighting up right now with a discussion of how good this Allen Eagles team is and whether or not they can hang with a North Crowley or a Duncanville if the time comes come state semifinal round. It would be North Crowley and Allen hypothetically in that scenario in a regional final, just as it was a year ago, and then Duncanville would hypothetically be waiting in a state semifinal. I think this is as back as Allen has been in 8 years, going back to their last title. I think they are good enough to be in that conversation now. Dowd near sideline, knocked away, nearly intercepted. Fahad Allen ranged back on that football and nearly picked it off, but it is a defensive stop for Prosper, and they're going to get the football back.
And Carter Harris does his quarterback a solid by going up and knocking that out of the hands of Allen.
Yeah. Turned into the defensive back right there.
I mean, that's what they say. If you can't have it, if I can't have it, you can't either. Great job by number 4.
Allen to punt it away. Driven all the way back to the 18-yard line with the fair catch.
A kick.
Terrific kick. Marcus McCoy, I think, wishing he had that one to do over again.
I was confused by the fair catch. Maybe just a ton of air on it.
So 1:42. And the 2 timeouts that Prosper has remaining, that's what Braden Imhoff has to work with as he takes over at his own 19-yard line. They had a nice drive to open the football game that eventually stalled, leading to the Bukauskas 30-yard field goal. And then they had the 1-play 75-yard, 2-play 75-yard drive, the touchdown pass to Lathan Latchley from 75 yards away. Other than that, they haven't really moved the football much. We'll see if they can here in a 2-minute drill situation. Handoff for Robinson. Right into the chest of Devin Palmer and falls forward for a pair.
Oh, and right now, it's like Bryce Gilmore is down.
That is Bryce Gilmore, the big right tackle, Texas Tech commit that is hobbled, not putting any weight on that left foot. That is a major problem for the Prosper Eagles. And certainly a young man that has a very, very bright future.
78 Bryce Gilmore shaking up on the play. Big hand for the
Yeah, you don't want to lose.
Starting to put some weight on that left leg now.
Please reset the game clock to 1-3-0.
With each step, a little more weight, but
that's a lot of weight. And it's, look, a lot of times those big fellas, man, they get rolled up on in a pile. And he is walking it off over here on the near sideline, so that's promising.
Big 6'5", 297-pound right tackle walking his way down the sideline. Pivotal to what the Prosper Eagles do. 2nd down and 8 after the injury, and right up the middle goes Bryce Robinson, surging into the second level with a first down out to the 32. Clock will stop at 56 seconds as they set the chains.
A way to set that up on the left side of that offensive line, and a big-time gain for Bryce Robinson. This is his most promising run since the first quarter or first drive.
Down to 45 as they snap it. Imhoff trying to set up the screen to Dallas Boozer, and he's crumpled up in the backfield. Well defended by Japri Wafer.
Boy, you talk about something getting snuffed out. That's exactly what happened right there. And number 12, Tim Drake, everybody came to the party, especially the UTEP commit, Japri Wafer.
KD Mitchison in on the tackle as well, and quickly down to 20 seconds. Prosper suddenly not in any hurry at all, ahead of 2nd down and 12.
Well, you see your star right tackle go out.
It will be Prosper football to start the second half, and they are content to leave it with that. 21-10, the Allen Eagles with the lead at halftime. The number 2 team in the state looking very sharp. The Friday Night Football halftime show, sponsored by the Children's Health Andrews Institute. After this. Show from both bands. Thank you to both of them, and thank you for watching the Friday Night Football halftime show, sponsored by the Children's Health Andrews Institute. Let's take a look at the highlights from the first half. All 4 touchdowns coming in the second quarter. Hackma Harrison, early second quarter. The touchdown run here from Lyndon Spriggs from 5 yards out made it 7-3. And it was only 17 seconds later that Prosper would answer back. Braden Imhoff to Lathan Lachele on the slant, and he beat everybody down the football field.
Yeah, he was shot out of a cannon right here. You see him going down the hash marks. There's nobody even close, and he's running so fast. And when I saw him grab for his hamstring, I was like, oh, no. But no, it's just a part of the celebration. I love it.
Back come the Allen Eagles. Jeremiah Dowd to Carter Harris, a 50-yard touchdown pass, and Allen had the lead back only about a minute and a half later.
Yeah, Carter Harris was open for an eternity. Sealed that catch, though, and walked into the end zone.
And then about 5 minutes later, Lyndon Spriggs on the receiving end of Jeremiah Dowd's second first-half touchdown pass. 21-10, Allen with the lead after that. And that is the tally at the halftime break, as number 2 Allen leads 7th-ranked Prosper. Let's take a look at your halftime stats, if we can pull those up real quick. About as even as you would expect these stats to be. A slight edge for Allen in total yards. Very similar from a passing yards perspective. And Heckma, I know what you want to talk about more than anything else is just how clean this game has been.
No, it really has. We talked about how quick that first quarter was. 17 minutes, probably one of the fastest first quarters that we've ever been a part of. And it's because, it hadn't been a whole bunch of penalties. Only have 1 turnover so far in this game. I tell you what, man, for me, it's been the rushing yards for both of these teams held pretty much in check. Passing yards-wise, man, you can see how explosive these offenses are.
Prosper came in with their offensive line setting all the expectations. They haven't really moved bodies the way that we thought they would, at least so far.
Yeah, it's J.T. Shaw up front and Devin Palmer getting it done. Tim Drake as well. Japri Wafer, we've seen on a few of those tunnel screens that they've tried to run. He is just so disruptive. They're not able to get fully into their offensive set, but you're right. We come in expecting this offensive line to be pushing guys down the field. We just hadn't seen that quite yet. And look, we got 2 more quarters of football to go. Let's see if it happens.
It will be Prosper to receive the opening kickoff here in the third quarter. Preston Hurlis to send it deep. Lathan Lachele, Nathan Haynes back to return. Kicking into the wind now. And a short kick to the up back at the 22-yard line. Met immediately at the 24. And that's where Prosper's offense will get started. This is the strength-on-strength matchup, Hagma Harrison. The Allen defense giving up just 6.9 yards, points per game this season against that big, bruising, powerful Prosper offensive line. Can they make something happen here in the second half?
Now, I think they have to, but I think, one, they've got to try and figure out where is the weakness. Expose it. Football is all about exposing those matchups, boy, and they just hadn't been able to hunt and find the right one. They were trying to get Wafer man-to-man a few times, but look, they adjusted and made some coverage changes.
From their own 24, Imhoff to the air, far side, complete to Dallas Boozer, right near the sticks. A nice first play of the second half for the Prosper offense. 153 passing yards in that first half for the Eagles. 75 of them coming on the one play, the Imhoff to Lathan Lachele touchdown pass that is Prosper's only touchdown of the afternoon so far. Officially a gain of 8, second down and 2. Wafer showing pressure off the edge. They run into it, and Bryce Robinson's got a gash up the middle. Lowers his shoulder across midfield, and a first down for Prosper.
Well, Mike, you give the request and you get it. You hit the answer right here from the offensive line, opening up that gaping hole to allow Bryce Robinson to run through. Man, that's easy stuff right there, boy. You have so much acreage in front of you, and Robinson takes full advantage.
Prosper had just 50 rushing yards in the first half. They certainly would expect to do more than that in this football game, and a nice start on the ground here in the second half with the run by Robinson. Sets up 1st and 10 at the 47. He'll get the carry again falling forward, this time through the chest of Tim Drake, the defensive end, and 4 more.
Well, do you think Coach Tyler Moore may have put a bug in these guys' ear at halftime? I think maybe a fire was lit the way that this offensive line has come out and firing off the ball.
And worth noting, and shame on us for not saying this before right this moment, Bryce Gilmore is back on the football field despite going off with the injury there late in the second quarter. He's back at right tackle. The big Texas Tech commit, a 4-star prospect, pivotal to what they do, able to come back on the field. 2nd and 6, the throw near side, just too tall for Marcus McCoy. Imhoff had him open.
Boy, I'm telling you what, they walled him off up front. They gave Imhoff all kind of time. But man, this deep crosser just not able to put that on the body of his wide receiver. That's a miss.
3rd down and 6, and the Allen Eagle Escadrille, whose performance you just saw. The drum roll and the trumpets right up until the snap. Imhoff protected, fires, complete. Boozer turns, has the first down.
Well, this time, the Allen Eagles produce some pressure on the outside, but Braden Imhoff does a good job keeping his eyes up the field. So many times we see quarterbacks, when they start to get that pressure, they tuck and run.
Yep.
Not Braden Imhoff, keeping his eyes up the field and getting Dallas Boozer the ball.
Yeah, as a pass rusher, you want to get the quarterback to drop his eyes. Braden Imhoff, veteran, showed that presence there and found Boozer for the first down. Robinson for 2. 2 minutes off the clock here in this third quarter.
I love this Japre Wafer kid. He is amazing. Doesn't take any false steps. Ball is snapped. He's still in his stance. He just wants to make sure that he's shooting it right, but he has the quickness to get there. I love watching elite linebacker play.
Japre Wafer there standing in the middle of your screen at the 28-yard line. Watches Imhoff pump and go, firing deep for Latulippe, right on the money for the touchdown. Lathan Latulippe with his second score of the day. Imhoff dropped it right on him, but there is a flag down, and it's coming back. Oh, my.
Oh, the play that you needed from Braden Imhoff. Wow.
Zayden Krempin gets called for a face mask, an offensive face mask.
I think I mean hands to the face.
Usually they refer to it as hands to the face, but it was announced by Andre Liss, our white hat today, as a face mask. Regardless, it's a 15-yard penalty, and it erases a touchdown pass from Imhoff to Latulippe that would have made this a one-score game again.
What a throw, though, boy. That's
beauty.
I mean, he couldn't have walked it down the sideline and then just handed it to him.
So now instead of 21-17, it's second down and 23. Another flag on the field, as again Latulippe has the reception.
Well, that came out from the line judge, and it came out quick. There's offsides here. Yep, defensive offside.
So instead of taking the result of the play, which was about an 8 or 9 yard reception by Latulippe, they'll keep a hold of the down and take the 5-yard penalty and set up 2nd and 18. 2nd and 18 better than 3rd and 14 or whatever it was going to be.
I'm not forgetting about Layton Latulippe. I know there was a flag on that last play, last touchdown. That fade route, I like him on the outside.
They are going to take the result of the play. And in fact, it was a few yards more than I thought. It's all the way down to the 35-yard line, so they're going to take 3rd and 9 instead of 2nd down and 18. Probably if you're playing averages, that's probably the right call. You're probably going to average less than 9 yards per play. So just doing the math is Tyler Moore, and he takes 3rd and 9. They need the 26 for a first down. Pressure immediately. Imhoff dances away, fires downfield, incomplete.
Oh, man, how did Japre Wafer miss on the blitz? You see him come out. He's set up on the outside like he's not going to give a free. He just whiffs. He just whiffs on that one. He missed him.
It's 4th down and 9. This is kind of no man's land at the 35-yard line. They're not going to punt the football here. Too deep for a field goal attempt, although they are kicking with the wind. But from here, it would be a 52 to 53-yard attempt for Michael Bukauskas, the young man that's on his way to Texas to punt. Also a terrific kicker with a very big leg, but Tyler Moore wants to talk it over a little bit. Timeout, Prosper.
Big 4th down coming up here. If nothing else, man, you definitely have the receivers. You've seen so far Elliott Brown. He's made a big catch in this game. Layton Latulippe, obviously, speaks for itself. And Dallas Boozer, they open up this second half with a pass on the outside to Dallas Boozer. So we know that Braden Imhoff has a great arm and location. I think picking up this first down here is pivotal in this drive for them. Down by a few scores.
Imhoff, one of the best young quarterbacks in the area. The starter a year ago as well for Prosper. led them to an 8-3 campaign, 7-1 in district. Their only loss in the regular season, district play, came to this Allen Eagles team, 22-7 at Eagle Stadium in Allen. This year, now 19 touchdown passes on the season, against just 3 interceptions on his way to Lamar. But this young man has got a difficult task in front of him on this play, needing 9 yards on 4th down. LeBron Bauer one-on-one with Latchley, who goes in motion. Imhoff steps up and fires downfield, has a man, it's McCoy. He makes the diving catch for a first down.
Marcus McCoy on the out. You see the motion with Leighton Latchley, has this defense adjusting.
Huge conversion.
Yes, it is.
1st and 10, Prosper at the 18. Handoff up the middle for Robinson, breaking a tackle, and he's close to the 10-yard line.
A lot of talking going on out there on that football field between these two squads. Watch this matchup down here on the near side between Latchley and LeBron Bauer.
They throw this way, looking for Boozer, incomplete. That thing had some heat on it.
It sure did. Mitchison was right over the top of it.
District 6-6A title on the line today here in Prosper. The Eagles down 2 scores, looking to start the second half well. They've got 3rd down and 2. They need the 8-yard line. Robinson on the carry. Has a seam inside the 5. 1st down and then some. Leg drive to the end zone. Touchdown, Prosper.
What a run, but way to finish this run off by Bryce Robinson. This is a young man just saying, I'm not going to be denied, and I promise you, I lift more than you.
Surging forward is the senior running back, his 12th rushing touchdown of the year. And Prosper has cut the lead down to 5. Extra point from Michael Bukauskas pending. It's up and through, and it is 21-17 here in Prosper. Heckma Harrison, exactly what Prosper needed to start this second half.
Hey, a fire was lit at halftime, and these guys came out and they responded. It's so good to see Bryce Gilmore back in the lineup. They had to do it twice because had it not been for the illegal hands to the face from Crimpin, they scored earlier with Leighton Latchley. But this is how you finish off a run if you're Bryce Robinson, knowing that you need to have it.
And you know what impresses me the most about what Prosper just did? Overcoming the penalty on Zayden Crimpin that erased the touchdown pass from Braden Imhoff to Lathan Latchley. They were set up with 2nd down and 23 after that and managed to overcome it, get the first down, continue their march down the football field, and ultimately it's Bryce Robinson that pays it off with the touchdown run, and it is 21-17 here early 3rd quarter.
And Mike, it always comes down to those individual efforts. Although this is a team game, don't forget Marcus McCoy stretching out on 4th down to pick up the first down.
Bukauskas, heavy foot into this one for a touchback.
Now let's see if the Allen Eagles have a response.
A 12-play 76-yard touchdown drive for the Prosper Eagles, spanning 3 minutes and 47 seconds, and getting them back into this football game down just a score. What will the strategy be now for Lee Wigginton and the Allen Eagles? Because a year ago in this matchup, in a game they won 22-7, they had a second half pressure off the edge, and Jeremiah Dowd goes down. Xander Reyes screaming off the edge for the sack.
And I tell you what, Jeremiah Dowd does not feel that pressure coming off the edge. He's keeping his eyes up the field, waiting on something to come open. And lucky that he kept that ball in his hands. Reyes on him in a heartbeat.
Second down and 17 as a result. Dowd, screen pass. Spriggs nearly surged forward for an awful lot more than that. Logan Thompson with the tackle before he could get loose. 3,000 of you with us right now on the WFA YouTube channel. Please click that like button, click the share button, send this feed around to your friends throughout the Texas high school football community, because this game keeps getting better as it matriculates along. And let us know in the YouTube comments where you're watching from. Who's watching from the farthest away? Let's see if we can get a couple comments from those watching from outside the state, from perhaps outside the country, as we've had once or twice before. 3rd and a dozen. Dowd pressured, able to scamper away, fires downfield but throws it away. It's a 3 and out for the Prosper Eagles defense. Allen will have to punt.
Oh, you got to feel good about that. And up front, these guys are getting plenty of pressure. Isaiah Lawrence up front as well. Look at these guys getting through. Zach Manning back in the Army commit. We saw him go out, man, but he is back with a vengeance.
What a start to the second half for the Prosper Eagles. The long, patient, adversity-riddled touchdown drive leading to the Bryce Robinson 5-yard touchdown run. Now a 3 and out from the defense, and Allen has to punt. McCoy dangerously fields that one at his own 40, and that is where Braden Imhoff and the Prosper offense will return to the field. I don't know if Jonathan Casillas is serious or not, but he says he's watching from Tokyo. Sir, I think you win if you're being honest. Seeing Emory, Texas, Bowling Green, Kentucky checking in. Oliver Murillo. GLVV says they're watching from Buffalo. Odessa, Texas. Utah, Paris, Texas. Monroe, Louisiana. Greenville, Illinois. Appreciate you guys being with us today as we crank up to right around 3,000 concurrent viewers here on the WFA YouTube channel, and many more watching at home on WFA Plus as well. 1st and 10 at the 40. Prosper with an opportunity here as Robinson is taken down in the backfield.
Well, how about that from JT Shaw, number 1. You see him right here on the near side. He sees the pulling guard coming.
Shaw makes a stop.
Coming right off of his back pocket to get the stop.
A loss of a yard on the play. It's 2nd down and 11. Robinson again. This time able to stutter step his way free to the near sideline. Latchley with a block downfield. Dupree Wafer able to chase him down from behind, but it's another 1st down for the Prosper offense.
Another one of those curious plays right here. Dupree Wafer is coming from the edge. I know he has to keep his eyes on Braden Imhoff, but he runs right past Bryce Robinson.
They're going to go double pass here. McCoy downfield. Latchley breaking away. Touchdown Prosper. And the homestanding Eagles have the lead. The trick play pops for Tyler Moore.
Boy, this is how you respond after going into halftime down. Call it a trick play, call it whatever you want to. Touchdown, for the Prosper Eagles, and the momentum is over here on this side with the guys in black.
Marcus McCoy with the trick play. Hits Latchley for the touchdown. And Prosper has a 24-21 lead. One more look at this one. Can we crank it back to the very head of the play, Clay Marshall, our director? I think that's a forward pass.
I do too. I do too.
That's why I wanted to see it again. That was not ruled on the field as a forward pass.
Yeah,
that is absolutely a forward pass from the Prosper 49 to midfield. That play should not have counted. There's no equivocation whatsoever to me, right?
No, not at all. I mean, and the thing about it is, right from the beginning, the trick play part of it, I thought that was out of the equation when you saw the forward pass to begin with. So we're both kind of looking at each other like, okay, what's going on here? But it counts as 7 points. And again, the momentum right now firmly on the side of the Prosper Eagles.
Listen, I will say this. Andre Liss and his crew have done a really nice job today in what has been a very clean football game, but they missed that one. Absolutely a forward pass from Braden Imhoff to Marcus McCoy prior to the second forward pass of the play. Ahead downfield to Lathan Latchley for the touchdown. That was a double pass and should not have counted. There's no two ways about it.
Oh, boy, tell you what, you have to go to AT&T Stadium. They're in the state titles to get the replay. That's an instant where, boy, you wish you had a situation where you can go back and look at that, but can't do it in this situation.
Yes, only the 12 state title games have instant replay in Texas high school football. They don't have the apparatus here in most of the stadiums around the state to be able to support. Even though we're here, even though there are cameras in the building, it's a whole different level to be able to have that feed down at field level, have them be able to recycle the play over and over again. So just not a realistic thing. Caleb Smith, the reception on the first play of the possession, is Allen now has to respond. And that's now part of the story really here, Heckma, is because I'm sure Lee Wigginton saw it. I'm sure his players saw it.
Yeah,
that's a gut punch to have a play like that pop when it genuinely shouldn't have counted.
Yeah, I think that's the one thing that confused everybody for Allen, knowing that play shouldn't have counted to begin with, but nonetheless, they have to respond now.
24-21, the lead for Prosper as the handoff here goes to Hambrick, and he falls forward for a pair. YouTube comments obviously lighting up. No surprise there. Commenter named Aaron says UIL got a step in here. I don't think it rises to that level. There are missed calls all around the state on a game-in, game-out basis. That happens. It's unfortunate it happens in a game of this import. It's unfortunate that it happens in a spot like this where the lead changes hands. But it's not. We're not talking about a situation where it needs state down review. It just that's not realistic as Hambrick falls forward for a first down.
Aaron says blow the whole thing up. I don't want to hear that, Mike. We need a replay. We need to have a red flag to be able to be thrown and we replay this thing. What are you talking about? Let's get the UIL involved. Call the lawyers.
Yeah, comment here from Kerry Reams. It's not too much to ask to recognize a lateral. I think, honestly, that's probably the most egregious part about it is it wasn't really all that close. It was a full yard forward. It was a missed call. There's no two ways about it. Screen pass here for Caleb Smith, and he fights his way for only a yard on the play. Nice job by the Prosper defense. They're starting to see these screens coming a little bit more.
Yes, they are, and they're breaking on it immediately. Then see the motion coming earlier. I think he just picked up two yards on this play, and again, it's like a glorified run, basically, for the Allen Eagles. And you know when they get them going side to side like that, they try and take a shot over the top. So that's what the Prosper defense has to be looking for.
Give him 2, in fact, on the play. 2nd down and 8. How will Jeremiah Dowd and the Allen Eagles respond? 2 quick touchdowns here in the second half from Prosper to take the lead. Spriggs with the handoff, and he's got a seam into the second level and into Prosper territory.
What a run right here by Spriggs. And again, he has his lead blocker, the freshman Jayden Davis, leading him through the hole.
Spriggs again. Spriggs bouncing off of tacklers. Good, tough run from the junior.
Spriggs, the ball carrier.
That's what they got to get right back behind that running game. Let their offensive line take care of some business for them. Right now, Prosper is riding high after those 2 big scores.
Dowd on 2nd and 3. On target for the first down. Caleb Smith paid for the reception, but hauls it in.
Well, I mean, he is tattooed with this ball. Jeremiah Dowd, again, throwing that ball on the run, the lefty. He and Caleb Smith have just went to work in this game.
Dowd to Spriggs. Can't dance away from the tackler. Really good play by Tyson Stiggers.
Tyson Stiggers is so good. Again, how many times have they seen, whether it's Spriggs or Smith, trying to get on the outside? They're blocking it up well, but they forgot about number 2, Tyson Stiggers.
Smith now with blockers in front, got around the edge. Cut off quickly. A pickup of 7 on the play. Flag down way on the near side, way away from the play. Looks like the penalty is going to be against Prosper. They're asking Lee Wigginton whether he wants to accept it or not.
See, he had I believe that was a 7-yard pickup.
Still not entirely clear what's going on here.
Illegal substitution. Defense, 12 men on the field at the snap. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. 2nd down.
So another scenario where Allen having to elect whether they want the extra down or the yardage and the result of the play. They choose to take the 5-yard penalty and set up what will be 2nd down and 5 rather than 3rd down and 3. Got to say, credit to both of these schools for a 1 o'clock kickoff. They have made this an atmosphere that feels every bit like it were if it was a 7 o'clock kickoff tonight. Huge crowd on both sides. Really, really fun game. Hambrick up the middle. It all ends up as kind of a net 0. 6 of one, half dozen the other.
Right.
It's still going to be 3rd down and 3.
Same result. I think I was a little surprised by taking the yardage, but I understand, you get the down back. But both of these teams that you talked about, Mike, have excellent kickers.
Definitely in Hurlis's range now. From here, it would be about a 41, 42-yard field goal. 3rd down and 3. They need the 21. Hambrick, patient, spins his way close.
This is the 2nd time that Hambrick has been in the game. And
1st down.
And he barely gets to the marker. Look at the way that he's setting it up. But again, definitely looked like the Prosper defense had him short of the sticks. What a combination between Spriggs and Hambrick.
A methodical, plodding drive here from the Allen Eagles. Already more than 5 minutes off the clock in this possession. Final 30 seconds of the 3rd quarter, and it's 1st and 10 at the 21. Flags prior to the snap.
Take him hit the center. I think no one could start until he gets going. So definitely some miscommunication there on the snap.
So call it 1st and 15 now with 20 seconds and moving here in this third quarter. Allen does not have to snap it before the start of the fourth if they don't want to. And it appears they don't want to. 24-21, the score through 3 quarters. 4s in the air in a terrific Texas high school football game. Prosper with the lead by 3 after 3. We'll be back with the fourth quarter of this one in a minute.
WFAA has a legacy of changing the system.
Most recently, we did a story on ankle monitors and how they don't work, and how criminals are committing crimes with ankle monitors. And yeah, there's legislative change coming.
Our 2-year investigation caught the attention of state representatives. Now, it's a crime to cut off ankle monitors.
I want people to see things that we need to hold people accountable for.
Pretty much leading the charge.
Start of the fourth on Friday Night Football, sponsored by Texas Day Brazil. Celebrate with us. Special occasions deserve unforgettable experiences. From intimate date nights to large gatherings, Texas Day Brazil is the perfect place to celebrate life's milestones in style. Both touchdowns in the third quarter coming from the Prosper Eagles to go from down 21-10 to a 24-21 lead. Marcus McCoy to Lathan Latchley. The trick play pops for a touchdown. It was 2 forward passes. The call was missed. Allen, though, Heckma has responded strongly to the adversity.
Yes, they have. I think that Jeremiah Dowd has come in, and he's been methodical, making those passes on the outside and allowing guys like Caleb Smith to do, pretty much what he does. But it's been his running backs taking care of the ball and picking up the positive yards.
To start the fourth, it's a 1st and 15 for Dowd and this Eagles offense. The false start just before the quarter break. Swing pass, Spriggs. Makes one man miss, still on his feet. Turns all that into a 2-yard gain when it should have been probably a loss of 2 or 3.
Yeah, definitely a loss. But one thing that we've seen from both of these running backs, man, their ability to make the first guy miss.
Second and long for Allen.
Second and 13 now. Little trick play here on the end around, coming to Caleb Smith looking for the corner. Won't be able to get there. Prosper played that well, maybe a gain of a yard or 2.
Yeah, too much penetration on this play for Prosper. I think that's what canceled out whatever they were trying to do. You see from the linebacker position right here on the outside, that's the number 11, Trevor Ellis, that they've gotten back in the fold, the linebacker safety hybrid.
We saw Allen hold Prosper to a field goal in the first quarter after a nice long drive from the Prosper Eagles offense. Now the Prosper defense with an opportunity here to respond in kind. This has been an impressive drive from Allen. Started at the midway point of the third quarter, but now they face 3rd and 12. Dowd, pump and go, has a man open, Caleb Smith, but he overshot him. 4th down.
Oh, he had him, Mike, and I think the pressure makes him force this throw. If he just had a half a second.
So Prosper's defense does come up with a defensive stand in their own territory and forces a field goal attempt here from Preston Hurlis. It will be a 40-yarder from the right hash. Hurlis has enough leg, but no good wide left. No no good, and all of that for Allen comes up empty.
Oh my goodness. This Allen Eagles offense, they are kicking themselves right now, specifically Jeremiah Dodd. He feels like he missed an opportunity on the outside to Caleb Smith. But then to come away that long of a drive with no points. Now, Prosper with an opportunity here in the fourth quarter. How valuable would points be to them right now?
A 24-21 lead in a series that has blossomed into a rivalry over the course of the last 8 years. This is the 8th consecutive year that they have met. Allen won big early on in this series. Allen was the big brother on the block up here in North Texas, and they won big early on. Prosper steadily worked their way back further and further as that play nearly was a disaster. Latchley slung for a loss as they tried to work him around the formation. Heckman, it just didn't work.
No, this play was a disaster, Mike. If you're going to lose, I believe that's a 5-yard loss on this setting up 2nd and 15. That is not the way you want to start this drive off.
See how patient Prosper is on this drive, how much time they try to work off the clock. Play clock down under 10 before they snap it and hand off up the middle here. Not a lot of running room, maybe a gain of 2 for Hudson Bowen. But this Allen defensive front knows what's coming right now.
Yeah, they do. And Caleb Johnson up front, big number 96. Just sneaking in between that guard and center. Again, we talked about this big offensive line for Prosper. They have not bullied this Allen defensive line. It has been a stalemate.
3rd and 13.
This formation.
3 wide receivers to the bottom of the formation. Imhoff pressured and taken down. J.T. Shaw on the pass rush.
Hey, this big fella J.T. Shaw wearing number 1. He is putting in that work over there with Zayden Crimpin, the Texas Aggie. Boy, does he have his hands full. He's had to deal with this young man coming downhill the entire game. What a response, though, by Allen.
A very quick 3 and out. The negative play on the little flip to Latchley started things off poorly here for Prosper.
Danger zone on this kick right here.
No doubt about it. It doesn't look like Allen's going to try and come after it. They do have a guy get free, though. Bukauskas, who had one ugly punt already today, has another one. Where are they going to mark this football out of bounds? Still walking down the near sideline all the way to the 24 is the field judge, Sean Griffin. 1st and 10 for Allen in fantastic field position.
The ball was at how long was this kick? The last one that he had was 17 yards.
I'll double check what the line of scrimmage was prior to the punt. It is presently at the 24.
I think it may have been shorter than the 17-yarder.
You may be right.
Not a good day for the punter.
And again, one of the best punters in the state. Terrific punter. But not his day. 1st and 10 for Dowd. Handoff for Spriggs. Near side for 3.
I think, you know, we were talking about it here on that last drive. I just believe that Prosper has made an adjustment on these passes out in the flat. They're pressing up a little bit closer. They're not afraid to shoot it to get the tackle, and they know each time it's going to Caleb Smith.
It was a 15-yard punt. 2nd down and 7. Spriggs. Stutter stepped in the hole, only got about a yard.
Zach Manning, number 8.
Wow.
Pressure on the Prosper defense. They stood up a moment ago and forced a field goal attempt. Can they again here on 3rd down and 7?
Well, they are going to have to get some pressure into the face of Dowd. Right now, just all they need to do is get to that 14-yard line.
Dowd, swing pass. Caleb Smith, undercut! Brilliantly played by Tyson Stiggers.
And like I said, Mike, this Prosper Eagle defense, they have adjusted. And Tyson Stiggers, no guesswork right there. Just turn and attack.
So again, on comes Preston Hurlis to try a field goal yet again. Great job by the Prosper defense to get a quick stop after the poor punt. This one from 37 yards on that same right hash. This time Hurlis is on the money. And it's a tie game at 24 all.
A big time kick. How about the confidence in your kicker after he just missed one? He knots this thing up, man. What a ball game this has been. I think it's what we expected, right? The back and forth.
Every bit of what we expected.
The ebb and flows. Maybe we didn't expect for those punts, though, but still.
That's about the only thing about this game that wasn't expected, yeah, because again, we're talking about one of the best punters in the country. Michael Bukauskas on his way to Texas, terrific punter, and none of that changes because a couple of punts that came off his foot weird. That last one, he had pressure on him, breathing down his neck in the end zone, trying to avoid a safety or complete disaster. So we do need to incorporate that into the evaluation of the situation, but certainly not the day he wanted to have. Good job by the Prosper defense to have his back and get the quick 3 and out and force the field goal attempt, but Allen does tie it up at 24 all. That kickoff into the end zone. And Braden Imhoff and company will start with the football at their own 25 with 6:52 to play.
The last time they got a score, it took a trick play. What is up their sleeve for this drive for Travis Wilson and Coach Tyler Moore? .652 here in the 4th. Man, it's anybody's game.
Imhoff, screen pass. Nice catch by Trevor Ellis. Following blockers for a first down. Ellis been injured much of the year. Finally getting back on the field and making a nice little grab here.
And I'm talking about this guy playing linebacker and a tackle that he just made. And here he is on the outside on a design screen, picking up a first down. That is a piece that they've been missing. It's good to have number 11 back.
13 yards on the pickup. 1st and 10 at the 38. Swing pass near sideline for Robinson. 4 white jerseys, now 5 joining the pile. A pickup of 5 on the play.
Maybe giving this Allen Eagle defense a taste of their own medicine. They've been spreading them out, kind of hitting them on the outside as the Allen offense. Now Prosper doing the same thing.
Past the midway point of the 4th quarter in a 24-all tie. Imhoff. Diving attempt incomplete. Would have been a spectacular catch by Dallas Boozer.
Boy, that was, and I'm talking about that's all fingertips right there and his ability to keep his toes in bounds as well. Talk about Imhoff putting that thing to the sideline. Big third down coming up here for this Allen Eagle defense.
3rd down and 5. Prosper needs the 48. Imhoff over the middle, wide open. McCoy, Dallas Boozer running away from everybody. Touchdown, Prosper. Dallas Boozer for 6, and Prosper leads again.
Well, somebody forgot about number 4, wide open. There's not even an Allen Eagle in the screen yet. Obviously, miscommunication on defense, and there goes that hamstring celebration again. No, he just looks like LeBron Bauer misread, and there is Dallas Boozer all by himself.
57 yards on the hookup from Imhoff to Dallas Boozer. Prosper answering back, but PAT no good. That is a critical point in this football game.
Ooh, that's no good.
That is huge.
That is.
In a series, by the way, that has had a 1-point final margin before. A 37-36 Prosper win. The last time Prosper won this game 2 years ago.
Again, you see LeBron Bauer, and again, maybe just a misread.
I think he lost his footing. They had it was a mesh route between, I believe it was Boozer and McCoy that were on that right side of the formation, and they ran crossing patterns, and the 2 defensive backs for Allen got feet tangled up, and that's what left Dallas Boozer wide open.
Yeah, there obviously cause and effect there that works out for Prosper. But again, for Dallas Boozer to be all by himself like that, boy, they caught you sleep.
But again, the PAT missed, and it remains 30-24. Will that point be super important? Kickoff from Bukauskas into the end zone.
Throws out of the end zone for a touchback. Allen takes over their own 25-yard line. 1st and 10.
Allen down 6 on the road. Brendan Johnson in the YouTube comments asking if it was offensive pass interference. I really don't think it was. I think that what Bauer got tangled up in was his own teammate. And it's a mesh concept that is designed exactly that way, to try and create that traffic and have somebody get caught in that trash. And that's exactly what happened, and it left Dallas Boozer wide open.
Yeah, needless to say, like I said, when you have a guy that wide open running by himself, there's obviously cause and effect to it. But here offensively, boy, Allen has to make something happen.
5:27 in the 4th quarter as they take back over, and the handoff to Spriggs goes for a pair.
The play calling right now, I mean, it's been pretty much east and west on the play calling, and then taking your shots up the field.
Dowd all day, fires deep, single coverage, knocked away. What a play by Tyson Stiggers.
This kid is awesome. This kid is awesome. I mean, in the patience, though, from Tyson Stiggers, he's trailing. And look, as a defender, sometimes the temptation to come over the back of the receiver to just ensure that you make a play, that's just great patience right there by Tyson Stiggers.
Over 4,100 of you with us right now on the WFA YouTube channel. Thanks so much for being here. Levi Golding in the YouTube comments says number 3 needs to touch the football for Allen. Caleb Smith, top of the formation. Dowd, quarterback draw right up the middle, and he's going to have the first down.
Man. That was not a design run. That's all Jeremiah Dowd, just recognizing that things are breaking down. Oh, that may have been a design run on second look. Hey,
I'm going,
well,
am I seeing things?
That may be. That may be.
Oh, that was great. 1st and 10 as Dowd picks up the first down at the 37. To the air now. Over the middle, Josiah Johnson, the superstar sophomore with the grab. Right at the midfield stripe, and they move the chains again.
Boy, that's all hands right there for number 11. Again, that's just tattooing the ball on the guy. Jeremiah Dowd coming up big. And that clock just continuing to tick.
Under 4 to play. No reason why Lee Wigginton can't be patient here with that missed PAT. They don't need to hurry in any way, shape, or form
No.
as Johnson makes another nice grab.
Second down and 4.
Okay. See here, you replace your center.
Henry Hastings now snapping at their starting left guard instead of Jayan Talib, who has some offers, including one from Texas Tech. Worth keeping an eye on the snap here. Perfect to Dowd, who swings it out to Caleb Smith. Smith bottled up, falls forward for a pair. It'll be 3rd and 2.
And Talib right back in the game is 75. Alexander Tinsman runs back to the sideline.
3rd and 2. They need the 40-yard line. Allen with all 3 timeouts still remaining. The 2-minute timeout to work with as well. Dowd, pump and go. Wide open up the far sideline, and Spriggs backpedals his way to the 25.
And all of that is set up by the look over here at Caleb Smith. Look at the 3 defenders down there with Caleb Smith. They forget all about Springs.
1st and 10 for Allen at the 25. They will have to snap it again before the 2-minute timeout. Lee Wigginton and his offensive coordinator, Larry McCray, barking out instructions. Down to 3 on the play clock. Hand off to Hambrick. Right up the middle, Jaden Hambrick lowering his shoulder, and he's inside the 15. 1st down, Allen again.
Goodness gracious. Jaden Hambrick right now again, right up that A gap, and does not get any contact until he gets to the safety, Logan Thompson.
And there is the 2-minute timeout. They'll probably reset it to 2 minutes again, and they do. Allen still with all 3 timeouts left. Prosper only with 2. And heck, that matters here as Allen sets up out of this 2-minute timeout with 1st and 10 from the 14-yard line. If Allen can get one more 1st down, they will be in a position where this game can end with no time on the clock if they play it well. Now, the fact that they need a touchdown, not a field goal, makes that harder to execute because you still do have to finish in the end zone. You can't just settle for a field goal. But Prosper now at least needs to start considering using their own timeouts to preserve whatever they can on the back end of whatever happens here for the Allen offense.
You got to be thinking about time, Mike, but for one thing for Allen, they could care less about any of that. What they know they have to do is get this score and the PAT to go with it. So, look, a lot of different things have to happen for Allen right now. Yeah, you could be worried about time all you want to, but you better get that score. Where is Caleb Smith? I'm on the Prosper defense. I want to know where number 3 is.
1st and 10 out of the 2-minute timeout. Hambrick straight ahead inside the 10 to the 9.
I don't know if Hambrick has dynamite in his pads or what, but they don't want to tackle him.
No timeout yet for Prosper. 100 seconds left in this football game. Dowd gets the call. 20 seconds on the play clock. If they so choose, they can bring it all the way down to 1:15 before they snap it.
In seconds.
Dowd to Hambrick. Hambrick makes a man miss, pushes forward inside the 5. Hambrick
Touchdown.
to the 1. Is he in? Yes, sir. Touchdown, Allen. With 1:12 to play, Allen is tied it at 30.
Look at this run. I said it, man. I don't know if these guys want to run into him or not, but what a move he made on Alfano. And a senior finishing that run in the end zone. Let's see it. I won't count the PAT till I see it hit the back of the net.
Crucial PAT here is through from Preston Harless. 31-30. Allen with the lead with 1:12 to play.
All right, Mike, so back to your conversation we were having before about the time. Maybe you scored a little too early.
It's entirely possible. Yes. That's why I brought it up. The Prosper fans not liking it right now with the double thumbs down. However, Braden Imhoff is one of the best quarterbacks in the state. Terrific talent. And we have seen the weapons he has on the outside with Lathan Lachele, Dallas Boozer, Marcus McCoy. 1:12 seconds and 2 timeouts is an awful lot to work with when all you need is a field goal. Now, they do have the missed PAT just minutes ago. That is now the difference in this football game. However, and I've said it multiple times today, and I know it hasn't been his best day, but Michael Bukauskas is a terrific kicker with a huge leg. What a redemption story it would be for him if that were the way this goes in the final 72 seconds. Whistles here on the kickoff. Oh, okay. Allen jumped the gun a little bit.
Allen said, let's get it on. Whew. This game deserves this kind of finish. But I think what you brought up earlier about the time and just the way that Allen could have executed that last drive. You know, look, the one thing you had to do was get into the end zone. And I'm sure Coach Wigginton could care less about any of that. His whole thing was, let's get into the end zone first. And getting behind his running back, Hambrick, was the #1 thing that he needed to do, and they cashed in on that. Defensively right now, it's all on you.
Squirrely kickoff that might go out of bounds, and it will, man. And that's a huge development. What a difference between those two kickoffs. Preston Harless wishes he had that one back. The first kickoff that came before the officials had given the ready for play signal was a terrific kick for a touchback. The second time around, out of bounds on the near sideline, and Prosper's going to start with terrific field position.
Yes, they are. Man.
Prosper is going into the wind here, which will matter relative to the field goal range for Michael Bukauskas. Travis Wilson, the offensive coordinator for Prosper, dialing things up here for Braden Imhoff as they take over at the 30. 1:12 to play in the fourth in a 1-point game. Pressure coming. Imhoff, screen pass, Robinson did a good job to catch it and picks up 2 and gets out of bounds.
How did he get his hands underneath that one, boy? Bryce Robinson with a circus catch from Imhoff.
A pickup of 2 on the play. Second down and 8, a minute 5 to work with. Timeout Allen. What should the message be here from Chase Hargis, the defensive coordinator for the Allen Eagles? You have a lot that you have to defend, and give up just a little bit and you might be in field goal range. How do you play this moment?
Yeah, right now I'm telling my guys up front, I got to get pressure with you 4 guys because I got to play coverage on the back end. Look, JT Shaw, do what you do. Go hunt, young man. Tim Drake, go hunt. I'm telling look, you got to force this guy up in the pocket. Braden Imhoff is who I'm talking about here, to try and get something slow and developing, but you got to get this quarterback down. If they do get a catch, get them down immediately. If it's something short, don't let it be a yak situation. Don't let something short turn into something long. So tackling, very important right now on this drive. A minute 5 seconds left.
How about for Prosper? Braden Imhoff, terrific talent, lots of weapons. What should be the game plan right now?
I'm telling my wide receivers, look, I'm Leighton Latchley. I am going to set you up on the outside. Be prepared, the ball is coming.
Second down and 8. Nobody's over top of the receiver at the bottom of the formation here. Now they come over the top of Dallas Boozer. Imhoff, flushed, going to take off and run for it. Imhoff out of bounds at the 38, 39-yard line. He'll be short of the line to gain, but it'll be third and just a yard.
And you see him again, keeping it in front of him. A big third down coming right here. They want to preserve this time and their timeouts. Tim Drake got plenty of pressure, but got pushed inside, and that's what allowed Braden Imhoff to get out to the outside.
Under a minute in a 1-point game, a missed PAT, the difference in this football game right now. Imhoff, pressure from behind, up in the air, incomplete. Flag on the play, way away from the pressure that was on Imhoff. Allen's going to scoop this up and go to the end zone just in case, but it is ruled an incomplete pass, and there's a flag downfield in the coverage of LeBron Bauer on Dallas Boozer. We'll see what Andre Liss has to say here.
During the play, holding, defense.
A 10-yard penalty for the hold on LeBron Bauer. They announced number 4, but I think it was the coverage of number 4. Dallas Boozer, it was 13. Bauer, the offending party. First and 10 for Prosper at the 49.
Well, keeping them alive on this drive. Distance-wise, what do you think distance is for the kicker? 50?
He's got a big enough leg for that, but into the wind is a factor here. Robinson motioning out, empty set, flag at the snap. Movement up front. Zayden Krempin, the offending party with the false start, the stud left tackle on his way to Texas A&M, and it's first and 15. The clock was stopped because of the penalty on the prior play, so no 10-second runoff necessary despite an offensive penalty. But now Prosper needs the 41 in Allen territory for a first down. Imhoff. Pump fake, looking up the seam for Boozer. Too tall. Bauer had a chance to pick it off, but it was too tall for him too.
Unbelievable. And again, a great job by this offensive line for Prosper, giving Braden Imhoff all kinds of time, but they fooled him. He's trying to throw that into double coverage. Where's Leighton Latchley?
Very top of the formation. Alongside Trevor Ellis. Robinson motions out again. Stepping forward is Imhoff. Looking, scanning, has a man wide open, threw it behind him. Oh my goodness, he had Marcus McCoy wide open.
Oh, that's just a miss by a very accurate quarterback. He is trying to keep his eyes up the field. Not a lot of pressure coming. Devin Palmer is trying to plead with the referees for a holding penalty. And Marcus McCoy knows that that was a missed opportunity.
3rd down and 15, 40 seconds to play as the operation for the field goal team for Prosper readies for an opportunity. Imhoff, protected, dances backward, looking, trying to find Robinson. Bauer knocked it away. It's going to be 4th down for Prosper.
What a play by LeBron Bauer. He is man-to-man down here with Bryce Robinson. And again, Braden Imhoff just keeping his eyes up the field, trying to find something. Boy, here's your ball game.
This Allen defense that gave up just 6.9 points per game this season coming into today. You knew that they weren't going to hold Prosper to that type of point total, but they are standing up huge right now in this moment. 3 straight incompletions forced. It's 4th and 15 for Prosper. They have to get to the 41 for a 1st down. Imhoff. Pressured, over the middle, has Dallas Boozer. Boozer's got a long way to go, gets a block from Robinson, and he dives for the 1st down. What a play from the senior Boozer, and Prosper moves the chains improbably.
And that crossing route right there just confused this secondary. Time.
17 seconds and moving. Prosper doesn't see that the clock's moving. They finally get the snap off. Imhoff. Stepping forward, down to 10 seconds on the clock. Imhoff scanning, fires, incomplete, but a ton of time came off the clock. Down to just 7 seconds to play.
What? Unbelievable.
They have 2 timeouts. They should have just taken one after the 1st down. Now they will take one to evaluate what they can do here with these 7 seconds.
Now you got to take a shot at the end zone. I mean, you got to try and get your field goal kicker closer, I guess.
Yeah, a field goal from here is not in the cards. You're kicking into the wind, and you're talking a 57, 58-yard field goal. That is not realistic to ask of a high school kicker. 7 seconds is long enough, given that you still have the 1 timeout remaining, that you can throw the football anywhere on the field, but everybody, as they're discussing right now in this huddle, has to know you catch the football and you get down immediately and hit the timeout. And if you can get 12 yards closer, 18 yards closer, and give Michael Bukauskas a chance, that's a possibility. As Tyler Moore talks with his team in the huddle.
Yeah, and all of these guys, you got to make sure you reiterate this before they leave the huddle. Catch the ball and get on the ground. Don't try and play hero ball right now at all. And look at these safeties. Look at how far back they've moved these guys. So it's going to have to be something quick, Mike.
Did Boozer not get out of bounds on the 4th down conversion? That's another piece of this. Quick throw, far side. Latchley. 3, 2, they pick up 10 yards, 3 seconds on the clock. Out of bounds inside right at the 30-yard line. And it looks like that may be enough for them to bring Michael Bukauskas on to try a game-winning field goal. Brilliant execution here from Imhoff and Latchley.
You get as much as you possibly can and get out of bounds.
And I just took a look back at it. Boozer did not get out of bounds on the 4th down conversion. Dove for the 1st down, did not get the 1st down. So that clock winding after they set the chains was correct. They get, though, the 1st down. They've got a 46-yarder from the left hash. Timeout called by Allen, and they may have just done Prosper a favor there. Heckma, because the play clock was down to 3.
Wow.
And Michael Bukauskas saw it and very quickly got himself into position to try that kick, and then Allen banged the timeout. Prosper was going to have to fly and rush the execution there. And because of the timeout from Allen, they'll now have an opportunity to catch their breath. Now, obviously, all the pressure on the world is on Michael Bukauskas. However, he has an opportunity, a young man who's had a tough day, a couple of punts that got away from him, of course, the missed PAT that has us in a 31-30 football game. But a chance to erase all of that right here.
Into the wind.
Ryder Sanchez to snap it. Tyler Albert to hold. A 46-yarder from Michael Bukauskas for the win.
Got it.
It has enough leg.
Nope.
No good, wide to the right. And the Allen Eagles hang on. 31-30 the final score.
Bukauskas, it's lined up for him, man, and just not enough leg in it. And as you stated, Mike, he was kicking it directly into the wind. I wonder how much of a mental game that plays on him as a kicker after missing the PAT. That's a lot to ask for that young man. But what a ball game this has been.
31-30, the final score. Number 2, Allen hangs on for the victory. Prosper with a terrific drive down the field. A brilliant fourth down version from Dallas Boozer. The throw from Imhoff to Lachele to set up the opportunity at that 46-yarder, but it misses just wide to the right. No good, and Allen hangs on. A terrific football game, but that posture from that young man right there is all of Prosper, Texas today. After one of the most magnificent football games we've ever had here on Friday Night Football.
Oh, my gosh.
What a game.
What a game, Mike. I mean, here's the deal. I want to go back to a part there on that last drive from Prosper. Look, maybe that was the plan from Tyler Moore the whole time, but I just felt like, you know, you have those timeouts, call it, especially after Dallas Booker. You see that he doesn't go out of bounds. That gives you another 10 seconds?
Yeah, probably. Probably. That play ended with, I want to say, like 23 seconds. I'll try and blink it back and take another peek at exactly what the clock was at when he had the first down.
Look, I counted. It's about 10 seconds went by before the ball was snapped. And again, knowing the situation, just pretty much put yourself behind the 8 ball, and here you are with 7 seconds. I'm trying to use my football brain to see, like, maybe that was the execution all along, to leave as less time as you possibly could because you knew you were going to kick it.
I don't think so.
Yeah, again, I understand, Mike. I'm trying to cover all my bases just to see.
There were 23 seconds on the clock.
Oh my!
When Dallas Boozer picked up the first down, the clock stopped at 23. They stopped the clock as they set the chains, and by the time they had the play back running, there was 16 seconds left when they snapped the football, and then the play itself took 9 seconds. So they lost 8 seconds just between the two plays with the 2 timeouts. Hitting one right there could have made at least a difference. They would have had one more snap at it.
Yes.
They would have had one more snap to get that little bit closer and have one more chance to get in a little bit better range for Bukauskas, who put a good foot on that kick. It did not miss by much, but it is just wide to the right. And Allen hangs on for a scintillating 31-30 win. And now you see the sportsmanship between these two programs. And it should be mentioned, I saw it happen right in the aftermath in the celebration from the Allen Eagles. Bukauskas got knocked over by a couple of Allen players that came spilling onto the field. I don't think it was remotely intentional, and a couple of guys did help him back to his feet, both from Prosper and from Allen, and now these two teams come together on the field for a moment after the game in prayer. These are two programs that really enjoy going head-to-head like this and have played some thrilling football games through the year. A sensational football game here that we had on our air back in 2021 when Prosper snapped Allen's 72-game district winning streak with a 28-23 win. Prosper won a 37-36 game a couple of years ago. Now Allen has won back-to-back years, getting their own one-point victory ultimately today, 31-30. These are two programs that go head-to-head quite a bit. And but again, you see the respect from these two programs on the field right now.
No, you couldn't ask for a better game and an instant classic today. Tell you what, Mike, this is, man, the opportunity to call this one. You know, man, this is, yeah, you could play this at 9 in the morning. We'd have been here for this one.
Amen, buddy.
It is 30,
Amen.
30,
Big thank you to Jeff Smith, the athletic director at Prosper, for being able to make this happen at the last minute, to Lee Wigginton, Kim Garner, and Allen for being able to have us over here at the last minute. We picked this game up on Wednesday afternoon at 4 in the afternoon. Thank you guys for allowing us to be here for this one, because this was sensational theater all through this Friday afternoon. We will step aside for a moment, come back and give you player of the game and play of the game after this on this special afternoon edition of Friday Night Football.
Thanks, Delkus.
Thanks, Delkus.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
WFAA has a legacy of changing the system.
Most recently, we did a story on ankle monitors and how they don't work, and how criminals are committing crimes with ankle monitors. And yeah, there's legislative change coming.
Our 2-year investigation caught the attention of state representatives. Now, it's a crime to cut off ankle monitors.
I want people to see things that we need to hold people accountable for.
North Texas, it's a hot one today. If you're planning on taking the pups out, make sure to protect their paws. That asphalt is going to be hot.
Thanks, Delkus.
Thanks, Delkus.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
Discover WFAA Plus, a live 24-hour stream of WFAA news and exclusive digital content, all completely free. Now available on Apple TV, Roku, and Fire TV. Download WFAA Plus today.
Right now in Terrell and in Dallas, your heat index is 107. Everyone in McKinney is dead. It's hot in McKinney. We'll fix that probably.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
Hey, I'm Jason. And I'm the other Jason. We're the co-hosts of Yolitics, the unofficial political podcast of Texas.
So each week we invite on change makers for cold beer and candid conversations into the issues really affecting Texans.
Yeah, and we're bringing in diverse viewpoints so you get to listen and really understand.
This is solid information and a deep dive you're not going to get anywhere else.
Not to brag,
but just to brag a little bit.
Okay, a little. We've been trending and making headlines.
Plus, we have more than 1 million downloads.
And still counting.
In a world filled with motion, we are the constant. Filled with storms, we are the calm. Filled with uncertainty, we are reassurance. We bring the truth. We bring hope, conviction, a legacy of grit, determination, honesty, and relevant reporting that doesn't just inform, but inspires. We are WFAA.
Here's tonight's Friday Night Football Play of the Game, sponsored by the Children's Health Andrews Institute.
Oh, there are so many that we could choose from in this one, but one of the craziest plays we've seen all season, a flea flicker for the Prosper Eagles, downfield to Elliott Brown, who made an unbelievable catch, so much so he could hardly believe that he hauled it in, but then at the end of the play, LeBron Bauer comes in and strips the football out. If that play isn't indicative of the game we just saw, Heckma Harrison, elite football play from both teams all game long, and it just so happened that Allen came up on the right side of it today. But oh my goodness, what a football game this was, and this play's a really good example of it.
How many times did we say, oh my God, and then oh no, in a situation in this game? But LeBron Bauer, the hustle coming from the opposite side to get this strip, man, that's all heart from a guy that had his hands full the entire game.
Yeah.
Number 13 came up big for his team, and Dallas Boozer makes a catch that in between two defenders has us both saying, wow, how did he do that? And then LeBron Bauer says there will be no celebration.
Unbelievable football game today between Allen and Prosper. Your Texas de Brazil on fire player of the game after this.
Thanks, Delkus.
Thanks, Delkus.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
WFAA has a legacy of changing the system.
Most recently, we did a story on ankle monitors and how they don't work, and how criminals are committing crimes with ankle monitors. And yeah, there's legislative change coming.
Our 2-year investigation caught the attention of state representatives. Now, it's a crime to cut off ankle monitors.
I want people to see things that we need to hold people accountable for.
North Texas, it's a hot one today. If you're planning on taking the pups out, make sure to protect their paws. That asphalt is going to be hot.
Thanks, Delkus. Thanks, Delkus.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
Discover WFAA Plus, a live 24-hour stream of WFAA news and exclusive digital content, all completely free. Now available on Apple TV, Roku, and Fire TV. Download WFAA Plus today.
Right now in Terrell and in Dallas, your heat index is 107. Everyone in McKinney is dead. It's hot in McKinney. We'll fix that probably.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
And now, the Texas de Brazil on fire player of the game.
Allen quarterback Jeremiah down 27 of 36, 228 passing yards and a pair of touchdowns, another 20 yards on the ground. This touchdown hookup with Carter Harris from 50 yards out. Heckma giving them the lead in the first half on their way to a 31-30 thrilling victory over Prosper today.
Hey, Jeremiah Dow, the lefty, he held it in the road today for his Eagles, for his Allen Eagles, and made sure every throw that he needed to make, especially on the outside, to guys like Caleb Smith and Carter Harris, even Josiah Johnson, when they needed a throw, Jeremiah Dow came up big in this game. But, man, you got to give a little bit of the to put on top of that for guys like Spriggs and Hambrick. That running game did not disappoint. And Jaden Hambrick, when they needed it the most, the senior rusher just was like a pinball machine out there, knocking off defenders. And that run that he made to get into the end zone, man, that is going to be a thing of legend. They'll talk about that for a long time around here.
It was his 8th touchdown run of the year that gave them the 31-30 lead that is the final score today. It's often that we see high school football games where it is blatantly obvious who the player of the game was. Somebody just comes out and dominates because most of the offense runs through that kid. Today, from both of these teams, this was consummate team football game. Jeremiah Dowd gets the nod as player of the game. You could have given it to any of 4 or 5 different guys on the offensive side of the ball, a handful of guys from Allen on the defensive side of the ball, and holy smokes, 4, 5, 8 different guys for Prosper that had really, really big games. Braden Imhoff, 303 passing yards and a pair of touchdowns. Bryce Robinson ran for $106 and a touchdown. These two football teams, if it's not these two playing in the regional final, and with all due respect to the North Crowley Panthers, the defending state champs in 6A Division I, I've seen a little bit of North Crowley. I've seen a little bit now of these two football teams. I think these are the two best football teams in 6A D1 Region 1, and I think they're going to meet again in early December for the right to go play potentially Duncanville in the semifinals.
Slow down, Jim Shoes.
I don't know, man. I don't know, man.
North Crowley. Hey, man.
Listen, I just gave him a whole bunch of bulletin board material, so if Ray Gates is out there listening.
Yeah, you did.
I feel like Ray Gates is going to, next time he sees me, to walk over and say, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for
No, here's what
I'm just being honest.
Here's what I got to say. I think, one, when we got to the end of that first half, I looked over at you, partner, and I said, man, that was as clean a first half of football as I've ever seen. And then we had to look at the stats to see that there had only been one flag thrown.
Yes.
These are two very well-coached teams, and Coach Lee Wigginton and Tyler Moore are, to me, like, so good at what they do in the way that their teams come out and execute. For me, watching Prosper play on deep, the way that they mix up coverage on the back end, the way that they play up front, again, they put a lot of pressure on you. Allen, for as much as we know Allen, historically, they've always had an athlete. I mean, look, we hadn't talked much about all the Allen greats that have come through, but I tell you what, defensively, they've always had a guy. And today, guys like J.T. Shaw came through big. Japri Wafer, he had his hands full in a lot of the scheme concepts that they came at him with. He had to be out in coverage. But, man, when he was able to lower the boom, he did exactly that. And so, look, this was just a great football game.
Yeah.
Executed at the highest level, and an instant classic. Just, man, this is it doesn't get any better than this, but these are two teams that will make some noise in the playoffs, and I look forward to seeing what they do.
The other factor here, as it relates to the discussion I was having a moment ago about the postseason, is what happens relative to Plano Senior High and the final playoff spot in this district. They're in the fight with Rock Hill, with Plano West. If either Plano or Plano West make the playoffs, Prosper's going 6A D2. And this team in 6A D2 is awfully interesting.
It is. I just saw a team in 6A D2 that I have my questions. Look, South Lake's there.
No doubt. No doubt.
South
Lake's still the favorite.
Yeah, South Lake's there.
Right now, if Prosper goes 6A D1, it's South Lake, and you're kind of going, who's next?
Who's next?
Maybe DeSoto. We'll see if DeSoto's got. I mean, they played Duncanville pretty well when we saw them a couple weeks ago. But there is a little bit of, you kind of go palms to the sky, like, who else is there with South Lake Carroll? If Prosper is the answer to that question, that makes things at least a little different.
Yeah, look, it makes it interesting from stylistically, but also look, man, to see these two offensive coordinators go head-to-head, I think is what I would be looking forward to if they did go D2, and especially those two great offensive lines going head-to-head. It would be a great matchup, nonetheless. But, yeah, that would definitely muddy the water and make things interesting in D2 if Prosper goes there.
Just an incredible football game. An absolutely incredible football game between the Allen Eagles and the Prosper Eagles. Everything we could have dreamed that this football game would be, Heckma Harrison. These are two terrific teams. that have huge potential. I walked into the stadium today feeling like both of these two teams are state championship contenders. I walk out with the exact same impression.
Yeah, nothing changed for me either, Mike. And I think, the respect level that I have for the Prosper Eagles, I think they fought tooth and nail. When they needed to make plays, they made them. They have guys like Leighton Latchley, again, number one. He is outstanding. And to see this kid come out here and put on the show the way that he did, he and Dallas Boozer. Just think about this. They're just getting Dallas Boozer back. This is a kid that's only played about 6 quarters for this team. So they've been without one of their main weapons. And Bryce Robinson came up big today as well. Look, this is just an offensive line that just came up against an Allen Eagles squad that gave them all that they can handle. And even last year, it was a little bit of the same. You come in, you want to watch this Prosper Eagles offensive line, and these guys are known as brawlers and beating guys up. You don't want to be in a phone booth with any of these guys. But I got to give credit where credit is due to this Allen Eagles defense, because, look, they did not blink. And that back half, I talked about the linebackers, but Kai Wheaton, he played outstanding on the outside when they needed to get stops. He came up big there.
Son of a former Dallas Cowboy.
Absolutely, he is. Kenny Wheaton's kid. But LeBron, we had a LeBron on the field, and LeBron Bauer. You talked about that mesh concept where he falls down and he leaves a guy wide open. How about him on that third? I believe it was third down. He came up big in coverage also. This is a guy that got a strip and caused a fumble. Look, this was a team effort. And everybody that needed to get in on the act, they did, and they made plays today. But like you said, man, nothing changes my opinion about either of these teams. Both of them will be lethal in the playoffs.
When it's all said and done, it is a 31-30 win for the Allen Eagles to improve on the year to 8-0, 6-0 in District 6-6A, and they will take the district championship this year just as they did a year ago. For our entire Friday Night Football crew, our director Clay Marshall, our photographers Graham Rayner and Cody Pryor, our digital coordinator back in-house Ryan Osborne, and Jay Wallace, Heckma Harrison alongside. I'm Mike Leslie. The Allen Eagles by 1. Jaden Hambrick with the game-winning touchdown run with 1:12 to play. Get out of my way, James Masters. I got reservations for the end zone. And the extra point gives them the win. 31-30 the final. Good night, everybody.